Baby Yoda kind of a dick.
No, definitely not a dick at all. I'll die on this hill. Those eggs, he's just an animal. He just eats eggs, man. It's not a big deal.
I don't really understand that aspect of it. He's a kid. He's a child. That's all he is.
He's an animal.
He's not a child. He's the child.
He is the child, but children do. I mean,
The child is supposed to be better than
how
just
many
normal
times?
children.
How many times when you were a kid did you do something
Did
that
I
kind of questionable?
Eggs all the time? All the time. Dude, I'd be climbing up trees, grabbing birds' eggs, and
steal a woman's eggs and eat
I
them.
feel like
Zero.
Disney. I feel
You
like
do it all the time. You eat eggs for breakfast. I mean,
He's also like 50.
yeah, but he's relatively still a baby.
I feel
He's
like
been around for 50 years, though.
He still doesn't take no for an answer.
Disney's trying to be like, it's like, oh, when a kid picks up a bug and he eats it.
Because he's a boomer.
Eggs taste good. Maybe he just really likes eggs.
Yeah, but
You should have taken better care of her eggs, maybe.
And like even after this episode, he's stealing kids' chocolates or whatever.
Yeah, that was
Their
a macaroon.
Oh, sorry, he's stealing macaroons.
Oh yeah, he uses
Neville
the force.
didn't share, so he got forced.
Stephen wants macaroons.
Yeah, I'm okay
Baby
with the
Yoda.
stealing of the macaroons.
I don't know. I like his
Really,
little
no, it's
antics.
fine.
He's just like, you don't gonna give it to me?
I don't know, he's got some dark side in him.
And didn't even notice if the kid was paying attention to his food, he would have been like, "Not today," and then he would have gotten force choked and thrown into the room.
They force choked some chick last season, Gina Carano's character, right?
Yeah, but she was bad. She was being mean.
she was being mean.
He's walking the line between the light side and dark side. He's dabbling.
He's
He's
not sure
like,
what he wants
do a
to
little
be.
force choke here, do a little force heal there.
Yeah.
It's like they
cute Baby Yoda, and everything's cool.
Yeah.
They do like a twist, and Baby Yoda ends up being like evil. He goes towards the dark side.
And
The
that's
world
what-
would end.
That could be a thing.
That's why Moff Gideon wants him. He
Yeah.
can sense the darkness in Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
The whole series is going to end with like Moff Gideon standing on a pile of bones and little Baby Yoda holding the red lightsaber.
I mean, it'd be a cool plot twist, but I don't see it coming in a Disney Plus show.
No, I would not want to see that. I'd be crying and screaming at the TV to turn it
It's
off.
like my fucking toy is a murderer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, my nieces are like all over the Baby Yoda train. I was talking to my dad. He said, I got to figure out how many fucking Baby Yodas I have to buy this year because there are about 15 of them circled in the Amazon book they gave out. He goes, I'm not buying 15 Baby Yodas. They get one each. And I got to figure out what the right one is.
What about the new one that's coming out for Christmas that follows you? Did you see that?
No.
It's like the BB-8 that came out
Oh, yeah.
So
back
it's
in
like similar to that,
2015.
but it has a remote control. It's an animatronic. It does like
To like climb stairs. Does it choke you?
You got a macaroon? It's mine.
Steals your
like,
food.
I watched a video of it, and it literally follows you. It's supposed to follow you like around your house. It's like the fucking strangest thing.
That sounds annoying.
Can you imagine having this little?
Little like stalker baby
Yeah.
Next
Yoda.
generation Furby.
You're sleeping, and he's just like,
Yo, dude, my dad found my old Furby and ripped its
Was it
skin
still
off
talking?
and fixed it. Because it wasn't talking, so he fixed it, and now it's talking.
Oh, God.
But
so
it has
now
a skin.
without
No, he
skin.
put the skin back on. So he
Extra
took the fur
disturbing.
off and fixed it, and then put the fur back on.
Why?
Jesus, it was bad enough already.
He's gotta be bored.
I remember my Furby. I threw it in a chest at one point, like when I was a kid, and it had no batteries. And all of a sudden, one night when it was storming, all of a sudden I heard Furby. And that was it. And I was like, "This is
That's all
getting
you need
thrown
to
away."
hear.
Yeah, it's
like Chucky.
Some poltergeist shit.
Yeah, you gotta get rid of those things.
It's like Chucky. I mean, God.
Yeah, so Baby Yoda's like a Furby. He's inherently evil, but it's really cute.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, I'm good with that.
We'll take it.
He can't do any wrong. I don't think.
I'm not up in arms about that. Let him eat eggs.
He's a kid.
Let him eat eggs.
Let him
eggs.
do his thing.
He's a peacock. You gotta let him fly.
Mando Mom is there. Like, he's there to look after him.
He did make him take a nap.
Lizard Mom is taking the world by storm.
I did like when he
The
got
lizard mom is just like not that.
Oh, you didn't love
It's
that?
not-
You didn't love that reunion between her and her husband?
Yeah, that was great.
They were like, it's a good imitation.
Yeah, it was very. It was heartfelt. I felt warm inside.
Waited a whole episode to see that. It's just like you could have just been like, all right, we go to the thing. She's gone.
JP, there's a lot of things that are dragged out in this show. This
I'm
is
aware.
one of them.
It just didn't make any sense to. You could have added that on the end of the 30-minute episode.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? All right, let's move on. All right, welcome to Live Breathe Film, episode 23. You're here in person for the holidays. This is a special Thanksgiving episode, our 23rd. And you are here with Corey, Doug, JP, and Murph. So our main topic today, being that Thanksgiving's coming up and everything like that, is going to be our favorite pop culture things that we can like binge on and things like that. Just things we are thankful for. So movies and TV. But before we get to that, let's dive into news and what we watched over this past week. All right, news. The biggest thing in all of entertainment has been the recent announcement that Wonder Woman 1984 will be releasing simultaneously in theaters and on HBO Max for free if you have HBO Max. This is a game changer, really. I mean, obviously it has a lot to do with the fact that movie theaters are still closed and shit like that, but this is a like $200 million budget film that was going to make bank, and then it's basically coming direct to video. Are you guys all watching it on Christmas?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Definitely.
Not in a theater, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
No.
Dude, I don't know.
Why bother?
That and Soul.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we've got two movies.
Double feature
on
with
December
that and
25th.
Soul,
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
It's just, it's... I mean, I know I've mentioned it a couple times in the past, but I didn't actually think that it was going to happen. I didn't think that Warner Brothers was going to just give in a way and just, release it. But I guess next year is filling up, and it's not, unfortunately, it's probably not as high of a priority anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think
That's what I think.
I think a lot of it has to do with like Warner Media wanting to get HBO Max to like a boost in subscribers because it's significantly below, obviously Netflix, and significantly below Disney Plus. I don't
This
think
will
it's where
solidify
they
that.
want it to be at
But you-
after 6 months.
You think it's going to really boost?
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah? You think
this,
so?
This
Yeah,
is gonna
people
this is
definitely.
gonna shoot subs through the roof. Has to.
I don't know if they'll be long lasting, but
That's what I mean.
at the very least, it will for a month, which is the goal. I mean, they want people to subscribe and then forget they're subscribing, or end up liking it and then keeping it just because of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they come close to what they were projecting to make in theaters with subscriptions, like monthly subscriptions for however long, then that makes sense.
Yeah,
But
I
that's-
doubt
that's a
they'll
big
ever
ask.
make the money that it would have made
They're not going to.
Yeah.
had it
Margins so
opened in
close,
theaters in June of 2021, or had the world been normal and it opened in June of 2020. But at this point, I guess I can see the rationale, even if I don't necessarily agree with it.
I'm kind of amazed they actually kept to their guns with this because when they announced this, I think it was like a week or two later, they were talking about the vaccine and how the vaccine's going to be rolling out early 2021-ish. I'm actually kind of shocked they didn't just back off and say, well, maybe we'll try and see it in theaters. But I'm really happy they didn't because I want to see this movie. It's been completed for almost over a year now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like they filmed it in like 2019.
I'm shocked it's not completely, the whole script's not just completely out there to read. It might be, but
Maybe.
believe me, I look. So
But it's going to be only on Disney Plus for like a small window,
HBO
right?
Max.
Or HBO Max, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max for a month. Then days 31 through 60, it's only in theaters. And then
Digital.
after 60 days, it's on VOD, along with movie theaters. And then I guess once it hits that 90-day window, that's when it would be on like Blu-ray and like 4K discs,
That's crazy.
things like that. But I mean, this is potentially going to be a little bit of a normal thing for the next 6 months. They're just tonight. I know some of you guys have heard this, but Godzilla vs. Kong, apparently, Netflix threw down a $200 million offer to buy it from Legendary, who produced it. But Warner Brothers was able to basically, stick something down and be like, nope, if it comes anywhere, it's coming to HBO Max.
Wow.
Because they have prior existing relationships, and they were, I guess, going to
Maybe
be
contracts that
distributing the
existed.
film with Legendary. So that movie, where we might find out very soon, is going to do a similar thing, where it's a simultaneous theatrical and HBO Max thing. That one was supposed to come out in May.
Netflix. Pony Up the Money by James Bond. Delivered to the people.
Yeah, they just love spending
Yeah.
cash.
I think that's gonna happen. I think someone's gonna spend a ridiculous amount of money. It'll probably end up being Netflix because they spend.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
I think like your response to them putting out Wonder Woman to HBO Max to try and buy Kong is really unbalanced. 'Cause
They're not exactly the
it's
same.
not exactly the
And,
same.
like, Kong makes sense to go to streaming because, like, it's not guaranteed to be a big hit. Like, the last Godzilla movie flopped.
Yep.
The
Well.
previous one and King Kong Skull Island, or Kong Skull Island, they made money, but weren't, like, smash hits or anything.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't Wonder Woman. So, I could see more movies in that vein going to streaming. Like, long term, I do not see DC movies regularly going.
No, yeah,
Direct
they
to-
can't afford to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, they're not gonna. We all agree they're gonna lose money on Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Probably a significant amount of money.
It's a cool experiment, though. I mean, it's going to be cool to see what they can get out of it, and maybe it is a lucrative strategy for smaller movies going forward. I don't know. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're going to use whatever they learn, for that to release smaller movies this same way.
Yeah.
Or they're not doing it just to do it. They're doing it to learn something because the market's changing. Market's changing so much,
What's also interesting is the fact that movie chains like the AMC's of the world, who were so opposed to anyone breaking like windows and shit like that, like the theatrical window to VOD, they're
actual windows. It's like that's
They're-
not a bad thing to do.
throwing fucking bricks at windows. They're all on board. Like, they're going to be showing Wonder Woman on Christmas.
Cool.
Um,
Well, I think because they know it's going to bring in a tenant amount of people, probably.
Yeah.
The people that are in parts of the country that are not as widely affected. It's a countrywide release.
Yep.
People will go see
and
it.
it'll be in theaters throughout the world.
Yeah.
And any place, I guess, that doesn't have HBO Max, it'd be similar to Mulan on Disney Plus, where it would be only theatrical.
But in countries that have widespread movie theaters that are open now at this point, they're not going to have it on HBO Max, right? Or will they? Will that
I
availability
think
be
it'll
there?
be a
They should
similar
be able
deal
to.
to America, is what I'm guessing, where it's simultaneous.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely unprecedented, for sure.
But, we might get to the place where the Netflix movies are in those big chains like AMC,
That's
Reboot,
cool.
Cinemark. I believe Cinemark now is playing the Christmas Chronicles 2, that Kurt Russell Netflix movie. Like, they're doing it, airing it there for a week, like testing out working with Netflix.
That's cool.
So,
Personally,
and Cinemark just made a similar deal with Universal that AMC previously did.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit different, like a movie that I believe it's if a movie makes over 50 million. Don't you dare not. I need my beer.
Yeah.
If a movie makes over 50 million opening weekend, then the movie has to be in theaters for 5 weekends.
Oh, wow.
Versus the 3 weekends that AMC had made that deal with. I believe it was 21 days before going to VOD.
So it's like a diminishing returns thing. If something goes up, then they have to keep it in theaters so they can milk as much money out of it.
Yeah.
That's possible.
So it's performance
That's
based.
really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
But if
mean,
it's a stinker, they just vote
if
it.
it's a stinker, it'll be on VOD after the 3rd weekend.
Yikes.
And why does Cinemark, where AMC even want the movie if it's like bombing that badly?
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Well, they ain't gonna need those movies this year. 2021's gonna be
Yeah.
like
Quick Home's gonna be stacked.
if you make 49 million, you're not gonna be there next week. Like, we got
Yeah.
another movie coming out next week. We got blockbusters every goddamn week.
That's why, like, with No Time to Die, I mean, that's in a similar position as the Wonder Woman. The movie has been done for a long time.
But the studio needs it to be.
No. Exactly.
That's-
They do. But if a studio comes, or if a streaming service comes along, and is like, write you a check for $600. You know, like
Yeah, I mean, if they could match Spectre, then I
Yeah.
feel like you got to take it at
Yeah.
that point.
which it seems like. I mean,
It's gambling. Like,
it
you know,
is. Yeah.
do I believe No Time to Die would make more than Spectre in a normal year? Yes, I do.
Mhm.
It's Daniel Craig's last one.
Yeah.
It looks more essential, but we're not in a normal year, so like,
Even next year, you're gonna have.
can
so
you even
many
break
people-
even with Spectre, or do you make 200 million less?
You're gonna have so many people afraid to go to the movies next year. that
Plus
Yeah.
all the
even if-
noise, all the movies that are going to be releasing because they didn't release last year, and like
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of competition. I mean, Q1, it's starting to look like that's already shot at this point.
yeah.
I believe a few movies have already pushed their release dates back. Which ones were they? Oh, Peter Rabbit 2. I think that was supposed to open in January. That's opening now around Easter. Somewhere James Corden.
Seems like that makes some more sense as it really
It
is.
really, yeah, it does. But why is it coming out for President's Day? Put it out for Easter.
Well, probably because it's a steaming pile of shit.
That could be it.
And typically, that's why movies come out around my birthdays. that they're
Exactly.
The worst things ever made.
I think Jennifer Lopez had a movie, Marry Me, that was supposed to open in January. That's now opening in May.
Ew.
Yeah. And then Jessica Chastain had an action movie,
Jessica
355. Yeah, and it was supposed to come out, I believe, in January as well, or February. And now that's gotten all the way pushed back to 2022.
Holy shit!
Yeah, because like they're like, every weekend there's going to be
It's
snacks.
coming out January 2022. Like, it's still a piece of shit, but it's a piece of shit for next.
The movie theater won't be as crowded. But,
That's why.
yeah, so the fact that I believe the only big movie coming out between January and the end of March is Disney's. Oh, there's two. There's Kingsman. Which
I forgot
probably
about
had to
that
be
movie.
pushed for like
I did
50.
I
too, yeah.
completely forgot about that movie.
I was like, excited for it. And it just, like, disappeared.
They'll end up going on like Hulu or something.
Yeah, no
Oh my
Hulu.
god.
They're gonna be like, okay, we bought it on Hulu and you can watch it, but we're gonna put commercials in your movie no matter how much you pay. So you're gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be a really good spot, and they're like, do you have upset stomach?
Well, Candyman was pushed back to early next year. Or is it-
August? August, yeah.
Oh my god. And that was supposed to come out in October, right?
That was originally supposed to come out June of this year.
Why wouldn't you just put it out in October? Like,
Because
why?
Halloween is coming out.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. They don't want to.
And then they have Universal's Purge in July. So they're like, kind of
Trying to
stuck.
find their niche.
Yeah. But, I mean, other than that, we've got, like, that Songbird movie, remember that one we were talking about?
Sure.
Just
Just load it in a rocket and send it into
Yeah.
space.
Movie that no one wants to
No
see right
one.
now.
Michael Bay is the only man that wants to see that movie.
They've already given up on that theatrical release. That's coming out on VOD this month now. Or in December.
It actually come out on fucking VHS.
I'm not gonna lie, I probably will watch it. if
We
it's
know
on
you
VOD,
will. We know you will.
because- But it's not something that I would want to go to movies to see.
When does that come out? 2020?
It comes out this December.
This December. So that'll be on when we
On
do
VOD, yeah.
when we do movies and review 2020. That'll be Corey's favorite.
Oh, yeah.
movie.
That's right.
I'm totally gonna watch it.
You're right at the top of the list.
We shall see.
And then Coming to America, that's officially now coming out in March on
No.
Prime Video.
Cool.
So I guess they spaced it out probably just because they weren't expecting movies like Wonder Woman and
Yeah.
Soul and all these other ones to start showing up.
Yeah, if I'm like a digital movie releasing company, like if I'm Netflix, like, I'm shitting my pants when you're like, oh, we got this lined up, this will be great. Wonder Woman, like, oh fuck.
Yeah, they're like,
Oh,
well, we
no.
know our Academy Award type movies coming out in December. People are gonna be hyped for that.
Someone got fired.
And
For
then
that. Someone's like, how did you not see this coming?
Yeah.
They just did it out of nowhere.
I don't
Wonder
think
Woman.
anyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, we got like a fucking $800 million movie. So cool. But yeah. Other than that, I think that kind of sums up the release date news
Yeah.
that we typically start with for every single episode of the show. Because it's been a clusterfuck of a year.
Man, I look forward to the day when we aren't talking about movies being moved around.
Yeah, it'd be nice when we're
I'm talking about
actually
like
like
new trailers,
Yeah.
and
trailers and
things
movies
being
that are
announced,
actually
but
going to come out soon. It'd be fantastic.
fucking musical chairs.
Yeah. Release date shuffle.
You able to go out in public again?
I go out in public all the time. You can go outside. It's okay.
Where's that camera in the space, man?
it's okay to go outside, dude.
What's sunlight?
This is a very dark room.
This is called mood lighting.
No, this is called no lighting.
This is mood
If we
lighting.
didn't have the lights there, this would be like...
Comment below if this is mood lighting or no lighting.
This is mood lighting.
Oh, yeah.
But you guys saw the news about, I think, what did come out? Yeah, just today. That we had talked about a couple weeks ago that Johnny Depp got the boot from the Fantastic Beasts movie. Not the shittiest thing in the world to happen to him, since those movies aren't that great.
I think he announced something... I think he announced a project, like, this past week or something like that.
Yeah,
I think
a more like independent type of thing that he's doing.
Not exactly what
It
we
was a
wanted
Netflix
to
movie,
do.
actually.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I mean,
Good for him.
They'll pony up the dough to anyone.
Yeah.
But we have the replacement. It was not someone that I don't think we talked about last time, but it's Mads Mikkelsen. We did.
I think someone said Mads. I don't know if it was text message or on the podcast.
I would be
I think we
fucking love Mads.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are Mads fans.
I don't know if we talked about
We're
it.
mad for Mads.
Yeah, mad for Mads. Mads is amazing.
I think the only thing I know him from is
Rogue One.
who the fuck is he in Rogue One?
It's like
Jane
the
Erso.
father.
He's Jyn Erso's dad, yeah.
He invented the Death Star.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is the only thing I know him from. He was a
Casino Royale.
Casino Royale.
He's the eye guy. Yeah. Bleedy
One of
eye
the
guy.
villain-
Sounds like you really do know him.
Yeah, maybe.
One of the villains in Death Stranding video game, PS4.
You're losing
Amazing.
him. I was gonna be Hannibal. Nope. Also, I'm losing him.
That's on my Netflix
Yeah,
list.
I have to-
There you go.
I think
It moves down one every time you guys mention Mads.
I think it's an exciting choice because as
He's creepy as fuck.
He's a great actor and he plays villainous characters very well. But it's just weird because now I'm excited about a series that I was just like kind of not excited for anymore.
Yeah.
But maybe he'll maybe between that and them gaining a new writer for the third movie, maybe the third movie will be really, really good. The Fantastic Beasts series.
It'll be
See?
better.
It's asking a lot.
It could be
I don't
better.
think so.
I don't
Although
think it'll be really good.
I do like the second one. I like it. It's not great, but I enjoy it. But I think I think he'll kill it as Grindelwald.
The third movie is just going to be Dumbledore and Grindelwald.
Yeah.
Just
Their
flirting
history.
the entire time.
now
Jude Law and
the
Mads
question
Mikkelsen.
is do they go down from 5 movies originally to 3?
No, you can't make that type of drastic.
No?
There's
So
so
I
much
would
money
have to
to be
imagine
made.
there is a lot of story left that they would not be able to do in one movie.
Maybe. I mean, they are basing this off of something that didn't exist before.
I think you would get it to meet in the middle and we get 4
we get
movies.
4.
They're just going to have Grindelwald and Dumbledore kiss. Dumbledore's going to grow a gigantic beard, age 60 years, and then boom, Harry Potter. And that's exactly how it happened in the books. And you go back, and every book sold is just there's a ton of blank pages, and there's one added little flyleaf.
This was exactly a perfect straight adaptation.
Yeah.
It was always supposed to go exactly this way.
J.K. Rowling sneaks into your house at night and rips the pages out of the book and puts this new page in there. Boom.
Yeah.
One
Conspiracy.
One thing that and now that they announced it, I think is actually really funny. So about a week ago, Mads Mikkelsen, he commented with some, journalist or someone got a hold of him and asked him, about the role, and he was like, "I know as much as you do. Hopefully they call me back." He just did not. He didn't lie about it. He was like, he basically said,
the deal to close.
yeah. He basically was just like, I auditioned and, I'm waiting just like everyone else in the world is. So you guys will know when I know, basically.
Yeah.
It was an interesting.
That's really how it went down. He probably found out today and it was on.
Yeah, sometimes they find
Deadline
out
or
as they
Variety or
announce
whatever.
it. They're like, "Oh, I got the job. That's cool."
It's like when athletes see on Twitter they got traded to another team.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking Woj just told me I'm on the Warriors now. Cool.
But I feel like with actors, a lot of times they might contractually have to, I guess, if it's done beforehand. But they'll lie, they'll be
Yeah.
like, I know nothing
It
about
was
it.
like Ewan McGregor lying for 4 years about an Obi-Wan spinoff.
Yeah.
That I felt really bad for because he said It was like horrible. He just had to lie
That's
to
tough.
everyone's face.
I imagine you get like a horrible call from your publicist if you say something.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
before
I will cut
they
you.
throw a brick through your window and it says, "Keep your fucking mouth shut."
Yeah. But then another casting announcement that isn't necessarily a surprising one, but it was officially announced was Chris Pratt is going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder, fourth installment, directed by Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
So, obviously, based on the way
It's going to be Guardians of the
Guardians
Galaxy,
of the
like,
Galaxy.
or like Guardians of the Galaxy
Galaxy.
we were
2.5.
expecting the Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But I think the only ones we know for sure that are in it right now are Pratt and Vin Diesel. I mean, Vin Diesel like spoils everything.
And Vin Diesel's
So-
doing the soundtrack for the movie, right?
Of
Since
course.
since
He's
now
a professional
musician.
pop star now.
Good.
Yeah. So
It's gonna be like Prince with Batman '89. It's gonna be an all Vin Diesel soundtrack.
I
mean,
feel like Taika would pull it off.
I mean, I assume,
So
like, the character that Taika plays in Thor,
Korg will be back.
Korg
Korg.
will be back.
Korg's the
Yeah,
glue that
uh,
holds the Thor franchise together.
Christian Bale's gonna be the villain. Which,
Yeah.
How awesome's that?
Yeah,
so
that's
It's gonna be really neat.
And then Tessa Thompson's back, and
Mhm.
so is Natalie Portman. So this one seems like I don't know, like a trilogy closer, bringing just like everyone in it together. But I have to hope that they at least do one more with Taika directing,
Yeah.
so he gets a
yeah.
full trilogy
Yeah, that'd
himself.
be nice.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, if this movie does as well as the last one, I think they will. Which is crazy because after Thor 2, we were like, all right, they've exhausted Thor.
After
And
Thor
then it
1,
just,
it's
like-
this is a dead franchise.
Just like
They're not going to make a
completely.
sequel to this.
Like they brought,
Meanwhile, now it's their like longest running franchise.
yeah, they brought Taika in, and
I
he
like
just
Thor
like
1, but
I like it too, but it's very.
I like the fish out of water.
Yeah, that was
stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny. It's just a little like vanilla ice cream.
Yeah,
Nothing
I
on
mean
it.
Yeah.
Ragnarok definitely
Yeah.
was funnier.
That's Kenneth Branagh, right? Or did he direct the second
He
one?
was the first one.
The
Yeah,
first
it was
one.
good.
Yeah,
Just have him come in as an actor.
yeah.
Just be the bad guy, just similar to his Tenet character. Just scream at people.
He was so good in that.
Scream
plays a
and
good
just get
villain.
people.
Well, I mean, Christian Bale's gonna fill that scream at people role really
That's
bad.
true.
It's gonna be fat,
a master
jacked, or
screamer.
CGI in this one.
I guess that's the thing we never really talked about with Nolan movies. He just has a lot of screamers in his movies.
a lot of screaming.
It's got Al Pacino in Insomnia. Madman loves to scream.
Yeah,
He's
screams in everything.
Probably top 5 screamers of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost his voice for the most part because of screaming. He screams in everything.
Yeah.
Great man.
Except for Ocean's 13.
But it
He
really
screams in Ocean's 13 all the time.
Does he?
Oh yeah.
Villains.
Oh
Okay.
well, he got like the short bursts.
He's a little more. He's a little more
Reserved.
reserved.
The
but
Irishman, he
does
screams his
scream
ass
a lot.
off.
Yeah, yeah.
Still gotta watch him screaming though.
But it looks like with Phase 4, like instead of having one like big team up movie or anything like that, it's just going to be a lot of like small like combinations in the various like sequels and stuff like that. I don't necessarily think like Eternals or Shang-Chi will be bringing along like a big like Avenger type character like as a sidekick or anything. But I mean, we're going to be getting Star-Lord and Groot in Thor. We're going to be getting Scarlet Witch in Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange in Spider-Man 3. I have to imagine, we've talked about this amongst ourselves, that it would be pretty dope to have the Hulk in Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So you get like a Hank
Big and
Pym and the big and small aspect,
Yeah.
and you get the Hank Pym, Bruce Banner type of relationship.
Yeah.
But
It would be a good strategy for sure,
Yeah.
especially to freshen up like the dynamics of the films.
Exactly.
In a lot of ways.
Shang-Chi has. Is that the Mandarin?
No.
yes,
No.
it's 10
Is it?
rings.
10 rings?
It's 10
So
rings.
maybe
Oh,
Ben
okay.
Kingsley in Shang-Chi?
Just what everyone's been waiting for.
The team up. That would be great.
That was one of the most upsetting things for me because I thought that was a great casting, and then we got
Ben Kingsley is
Trevor
never
Slattery.
a great casting, though, unfortunately.
Even though Trevor Slattery, in hindsight,
It's
I actually,
hilarious.
Yeah.
I actually think he's hilarious,
Yeah.
but I was so disappointed.
So, if we were going to get all those ones we just had said, who would you want to be the one to be in, like, Captain Marvel 2? And it looks like Black Panther 2 is actually still coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, as scheduled.
Yeah.
So, who would you want to be, like, the rando characters that end up showing in those two movies?
I mean, Black Panther, obviously, Bucky.
Yeah.
Who makes
So
sense?
Winter
Who's
Soldier
your character?
and maybe new Captain Falcon. It'd be nice since they seem to be inseparable.
Yeah, that's true.
But
And you are going to... We'll definitely see these ones that are pivoting to television shows in more movies
yeah,
moving forward. Maybe we'll even get some of these new characters that are debuting on Disney Plus to show up.
You could bring She-Hulk in.
You
probably
bring She-Hulk and put her in
and Ant-Man
if you want.
Yeah.
And then obviously we have to talk about Deadpool. I mean, they're Deadpool 3 official now.
Thank God.
He'll be in every
I know.
single
Really
movie.
Everyone was like so worried. I mean,
we
including
knew
me.
it was going to happen,
No.
but like the fact that they weren't talking about it was a little like, come on, man.
I think a lot of it
got rights to Deadpool.
I think a lot of it is
do
that they had to sit and think about like the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Because they said that it's going to be rated R.
Yes. We
So-
got the writers now.
Yeah.
The Molly New sisters. I know they're Bob's Burgers writers. I'm not really familiar with anything else that they've done, but I mean,
I've heard
I
Bob
think you've
Burgers
said
is
that.
funny.
I love Bob's
It is
Burgers.
funny.
Julia
Yeah.
loves it.
Like
too.
you said
It's
this,
great,
I
the
believe,
jokes
or
are
one
great.
of you said this, that if Ryan Reynolds approves, then
Yeah.
thumbs up.
They sat in a room with I think it was just Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Feige and
God, that's awesome.
it's like the thing in Deadpool 2 where you have people walking in. It's like if he's okay with it, fucking guy lives and breathes.
Yeah.
Fucking Deadpool.
I just don't think
Maybe
it
throw
is.
Spider-Man in Deadpool 3.
No, I think
They
Deadpool
could.
should be in every
Yeah.
single one of these movies in the phase, just walking in the background. Just
I mean,
walks
they
across
could
the
do
scene in every
Deadpool-
single one.
They could do a Deadpool 3 where it's just him being like interviewing to be with the Avengers or something,
That would be
and he just
hilarious.
meets with every single Avenger at a table. That could be the entire movie, and it would be hilarious.
Yeah. And he just says fuck at everyone, and they all go like this, and
You would think that the mouse knows that like what worked and like that worked, and it's just figuring out a way to adapt it into what has worked with what they've been doing. I
Maybe
mean,
the first R-rated film.
Yeah,
I was gonna say prior to them
Disney's
buying
first-
everything.
Disney's first R-rated
Wow.
film, outside of like they own Miramax and Touchstone, and they made R-rated movies. So this is kind of a similar situation
Yeah.
because you don't even see the Disney logo
No.
during any Marvel movie. Same with
Mhm.
Star Wars. They just start with either Marvel Studios or Lucasfilm.
I think it'll be interesting to see if he ends up in like the mainline films, or if he's just kind of
I think we get an edited Deadpool.
I still think it would be hilarious if they beeped him and he just looked around every time it
Yeah,
happened.
I think
and just
we're gonna get something like
well,
that.
that character.
Like an Arrested
It would
Development.
absolutely
It would
work
work so well.
perfectly well.
It would work
And
so well.
honestly, like if you do bleeping right, it is just as funny as
Yeah,
actual
sure.
like, cursing. Like on Arrested Development, they did it perfectly. There's plenty of sitcoms that
Oh,
have
yeah.
done it well.
If you just do a straight beep in the middle and have him realize that he can't swear,
Yeah, it's just like what the fuck.
it would
and
be
just keeps
really
bleeping.
funny.
Be
Yeah, like
similar to,
truck
like,
drives by.
It'd be like The Good Place when
Yeah.
Kristen Bell first finds out that she can't curse, where
Yeah,
she
with
says
the fork.
she's saying fuck, but it comes out as fork.
No.
And it works.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing with him is he breaks the fourth wall all the time. So if he like shows up in an Avengers movie or whatever, and then like he says something,
Yeah, it's in character.
and bleeps it, he's like, "What the hell? I was able to do this in my movie." Or,
It could kind of fuck the whole universe, though. Because now you have this other guy that appears by, and like, it works in the Deadpool universe where people kind of see him doing that.
Yeah,
But like, I don't know.
the interesting thing is
Doctor
that
Strange could like
I think
play
you
into
just
that.
like compartmentalize it so like you can break the fourth wall for a very short period of time, and then like the movie just goes on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we would have
Like
to
he's
do
doing it, and they're just looking at him like, "Who are you talking to?"
Yeah.
Like, he must
Then
be
you just
brain
kind of
damaged
gotta
something.
like
that. Well, like,
breeze by it after that.
yeah, I feel like him and Doctor Strange could get along because I feel like Doctor Strange should be the only one that could do that. Maybe
maybe
he would sort of understand it, but then I feel like that would just kind
I
of.
feel like him and Peter Parker are like the two characters that he would probably work the best with. Maybe like the Guardians. He would be hilarious with the Guardians, like just them as a whole. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, Sony, I doubt would have any qualms about throwing Tom Holland into Deadpool.
No.
Very, like, they're a studio that doesn't have any issues with R-rated movies or
Yeah.
anything like that.
He's one of the most recognizable characters, and he's not even
Yeah.
like
And he's just
Actually
he's
a
still
Marvel
just an
property.
X-Men character.
yeah.
Yeah.
He can even make jokes about like the Fox
Oh,
movies.
he absolutely
and
will.
I'm sure he
has
will.
to. I mean, they have the X-Men movies on Disney Plus. Like, they are part of Marvel's history. They're not going to just completely pretend they never happened.
It's just so much like room for like creative writing.
And
you
Feige
know?
was involved with the X-Men series originally at
Was he?
Fox.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
He was. He worked on at least the first movie,
Wow.
but in like a small like role.
And then now
So-
he's a big man on campus.
Exactly.
Wow.
Maybe Deadpool starts the new X-Men universe.
Anything's possible in this
Hope
new
not.
world. Man.
He plays all the characters.
I'm still hoping they just give pull up a Brinks truck to Hugh Jackman's house and they're like, hey man, you gotta come back for the Avengers.
I think he
I don't-
will.
I don't want no more goddamn Hugh Jackman Wolverine. I'm done.
No,
I'm out.
I think
Give me new Wolverine.
I think he will at least do something with Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
That's all I want.
They've
Sure,
been teasing
yes.
that shit for so long that
That's
Alright, so
they
maybe
are
he's the
absolutely
person-
going to do that.
He's the person for Deadpool 3.
Or just have him play
Imagine a
Hugh
buddy
Jackman
movie.
instead of Wolverine.
That would be funny too. And he Deadpool makes him dress up like Wolverine for some reason.
Oh my
Like, you're my
God.
sidekick, Hugh. Here.
And he gets killed. He throws him out. He goes, "Do the claw!" And he's just blown away.
Then they just show Logan's grave from the Logan movie. Do that. Fuck it.
Yo, Disney, if you would hire us, we got all sorts of a couple
We've got
ideas.
some great ideas here.
Anything could really happen. I mean, we got Brad Pitt in that one clip in the
Oh
second
my
one when he
God.
died. I
I
mean,
love
that.
that.
cameo was ridiculous.
That was great.
Oh, it was so good.
So, I think we really could expect anything at this point, especially with Disney behind it. They're on board completely.
They own every movie franchise on Earth. There's infinite potential.
They're just threw Deadpool into Avatar. Fuck it. We'll do whatever we want.
He's got a blue suit instead
It
of a
looks
red
so
suit.
good in that James Cameron 3D.
They add him to the ride.
That would be pretty funny if they just start throwing Deadpool into all the rides that have video.
It's Star Wars.
Why is
It's
Deadpool in fucking Star Tours?
Or in the Spider-Man ride, he's just on the side. If you look to the side, with a soda watching you, that would be
I'd be
great.
down for that for sure.
Disney. Hire us.
Yeah, we have
We'll be coming
at
out
least
here.
half a dozen ideas. It's great.
Alright, but I think that covers news for the week.
Yeah.
I guess for the last 2 weeks. But let's move into what we watched recently. Corey, I have no idea what the heck you watched, so please tell us.
I think it's a Jackie Chan movie.
Probably
It is not. So I watched 13 Assassins, which is Takashi Miike's movie. He does. You ever see?
No idea what you're talking about.
So Ichi the Killer. You ever see that movie?
Heard of it.
Heard of it. Okay. This movie he did. It's basically a kind of an homage to Kurosawa's samurai films.
Yeah.
But it follows this one samurai back in Edo period Japan, and he's assembling 13 assassins, 13 samurai to take out a murderous leader in the country. It's awesome. I've never actually seen it. I wanted to. He's done at least one other period samurai movie that was awesome. But this one came out I think 9 or 10 years ago. So I finally watched it, and it was really, really, really good. The action was good. Very not extremely gory. Definitely not the goriest movie that he's ever done. But he's actually directed a lot of video game movies that are actually really good. Really, really good.
Yeah, that's odd.
Yeah.
Japanese video game movies.
He
And
did Yakuza movie, which was amazing.
I didn't even know that was big.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure movie.
Isn't that an anime?
And, it was a video game first.
It's live action.
Yeah. It's wild. Phoenix Wright, he did that.
That's some weird language I do not understand.
But, I mean, I know some of our listeners probably know of it. So, but,
If there's any listeners that knows what he's talking about, comment below.
he's a really good director. And so, out of his 2 samurai movies that I've seen, I've only seen one, and then I finally saw this one, and it's kind of like Seven Samurai in a lot of ways, where it's almost a 3-hour epic. A lot of
It's a perfect thing for you to watch while playing Ghosts.
yes. Well, that's kind of why I got on this kick of samurai movies. There's a lot of movies that I want to revisit or watch now that I haven't seen. But that one I saw on so many lists, and I was like, oh, that director I know. So I checked it out. But I mean, after playing Ghost, which I think I'm 7 hours in at this point, I was like kind of in that mood to watch that type of film. But it was really, really good. Not doesn't have a lot of slow points, which is good because I feel like a lot of those movies there are points because usually they're 3 hours long, and they have points where they're just like kind of slow down. They try to add a little bit too much exposition.
Yeah, Japanese really likes their exposition.
Yeah, this movie did not. Everything got going really quickly. Like they set the storyline. The characters were awesome. Like the 13 assassins that that you meet throughout the first hour of the movie, like are very interesting characters. So by the time you get to the end, where you see the end conflict, you're like all in, and it's
If an
really-
assassin dies, do they replace an assassin?
No.
Not like 6 Underground then?
No, because like
Oh,
the
boy. Please don't mention that movie again.
yeah. No,
Ryan Reynolds' best work of the last year.
No,
He's
he's in
ha-
Hobbs and Shaw, wasn't he? Was that the last
Over a year ago.
That was over a year ago. Damn.
most of the movie is them trying to strategize how they're going to do the thing that they should not be able to do. Like they're basically gambling. Like
So
there's
it's like
no
Ocean's 11.
it
but
kind of
murder.
It kind of is actually.
Do they assemble the team?
Yeah.
Hell
It
yeah,
is-
it's Ocean's 13.
It is a lot of ways. Now
And
that I
they-
think about it, it is a lot of ways.
And they
like
kill Al
Ocean's
Pacino
movie.
at the end.
Because there's a politician, more or less, that he's like so evil, like murderous,
The most evil.
and they're bought off by another politician to kill this guy. So like he assembles a crew throughout the
There you go.
first hour of the movie, and
You're like- What do we got? 12.
I love a movie where they assemble a crew.
I think we're good with 12. Let's get one more. Let's get one more.
but
Now we're the 13.
Now we're
assassins.
13 segments.
But yeah, it was really, really good. Like, and I was expecting it to be slow moving, because it's
Yeah.
like 2.5 hours. So I was pleasantly surprised. But Takashi Miike does not make a bad movie. At least I don't think he does.
All right.
Murph's like, I don't
That's-
know.
That's on,
I've never
I
heard
cannot
of him.
vouch for this, but
is that on Amazon Prime or is that... Okay.
all right. Well, let's go into another dude who does not make bad movies, and that's James Gunn.
Yeah.
Right back to the Marvel first MCU.
So I'm gonna audible my boot.
Oh, you fucking
No! Audible!
So I
This
forgot.
is our first Audible, I think.
You bastard!
It's until we're all in person. The
Bastard
audible.
man.
You piece of shit.
I set you up perfectly.
I forgot I watched Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
Oh.
Was this the first time you saw it?
It was the first time I saw
Okay.
it. Probably the last time I'll see it.
Dude, I turned it off halfway through. I said, this is fucking shit.
That movie
Really?
sucks.
I
So
enjoyed it.
bad.
It's terrible. I'm a big Kevin
It helps
Smith
when you
fan.
see it with an audience and everyone's
I
laughing.
liked it.
I would be like staring like, why the fuck are y'all laughing?
I did not like this movie at all. It just like
How did you not
You
like it
didn't like
at
Fred
all?
Armisen and his tots?
no. it just
Yeah.
like it was all goofy. I mean, it tried to rely on like nostalgia.
Yes,
to kind of
yeah,
very much.
It
Absolutely.
was like
Did
beat
that.
for beat the same jokes.
Yeah.
So Jane Silent Bob Straight Back remake, essentially.
Yeah.
And it just didn't hit for me. I mean, I enjoyed some of the cameos, like Chris Hemsworth showing up as a hologram.
Yeah.
That
What about the Ben Affleck scene?
was nice.
I thought that was really good.
That was like a separate movie inside the movie. Like it was like a Chasing Amy like sequel inside this Jay and Silent
Yeah,
Bob
the
movie.
Chasing Amy reunion
Yeah.
going on was kind of cool.
I really liked Kevin Smith's daughter a lot. Like,
She was fine.
I liked
she's-
her-
I know she's like been in a few things.
yeah.
Harley.
Harley Quinn. Well, she
Harley
was
Quinn
in
Smith.
His fucking Great White North movies, right? Or at least
Yeah.
one of them. She was in the last
She was
one.
in Yoga Hosers and probably.
I thought she held
Tusk
her
as well.
own. Like her
Johnny
and
Depp's daughter, too.
her and Jason Mewes were really good together. Like they had great chemistry.
Yeah.
I still like can't get used to Muse and his like
it's like
teeth.
His face
Whatever the
is
fuck happened to his face.
He
I
got
guess
like
he got teeth, maybe new teeth.
yeah, he
he
got
did,
he
yeah,
definitely got teeth
'cause he had-
surgery.
It looks like his jaw got...
He had like a obviously a bad drug problem. And yeah. He got new
Like
teeth, but
reconstruction.
like something's not right with like the facial.
He's like
structure.
squared off now.
Yeah. You know, he has like a fucking rectangular face. and he never did.
I wonder
He's
if
still
he.
funny though.
I wonder if he like got in an accident or.
No, he probably just did too much meth, and your teeth
there's
and your
drugs,
jaws
your
rot
teeth
out.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah.
what happened. I know Kevin Smith spent like a lot of time trying to like make sure he.
Yeah.
I think he paid for his
They
teeth.
both spent a lot of time working on each other.
Yeah, because Kevin Smith.
Kevin
is like
Smith had his
fucking-
problems as well
Yeah,
with other shit.
they're like best friends.
His clothes probably weigh more than he does now. Like the clothes he wore back in the day, the big jacket,
Yeah.
the big pants, they probably weigh more than he does.
He looks great.
Yeah,
He's healthy.
It's wild going back to the old movies.
well, he's
and
healthy
seeing how
enough.
he looked.
He had a massive heart attack.
Yeah, he almost
That's
died.
why he lost all
That's
that
why he
weight.
lost all the weight. Yeah.
He's a vegan now.
And he became a like, huge pothead after, I think, like after Clerks 2.
Yeah.
Like, it was when he was doing Zack and Miri with Seth Rogen. That's what turned him into a pothead.
I mean, yeah.
If anyone's going to turn you into a pothead, it's probably going to be Seth Rogen.
Probably.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I watch his podcast and he's stoned like.
That's why
Yeah.
I think his humor is a lot different. Like, pre-weed, post-weed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to be high to make those like Tusk movies.
Yeah. So would you not see Clerks 3 now, or Mallrats 2, because of this one? Because those are likely his next two movies.
No, I mean, so I'm still a Kevin. Like I said, I'm a Kevin Smith fan, and so I'd probably just give him a pass and say, I would tell everyone like, don't see
watch this
movie,
one, but yeah.
and I'd say like, all right, hopefully Kevin Smith, you can pull it off in the next one. I think he's great as just like a guy to be on a
Comic-Con
pod.
speaker.
Yeah, a Comic-Con speaker, guy on a podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has it anymore as like a
I mean, he'll be the
scriptwriter,
first
but-
to tell you he doesn't consider himself like a good writer director,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
especially not a
Everyone
director. He's definitely very humble.
He might be onto something.
I don't know. I
His
think
first two movies were pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they definitely were. I don't know what happened
Yeah.
for me, but
I think he's just doing his own thing now. And like,
He does things to make him happy, make him laugh, and
yeah,
it's
and
not-
he kind of
and
did
that's
like
that.
an Adam Sandler thing with this last movie where he
he's
like, brought all of his
brings
friends.
all his buddies. Yeah,
It was an ill-advised movie to make, though, too, because you're talking about like the reboot, and it's just gonna be the same fucking stale jokes.
Yeah, I think it was a
over
passion
and over
project
again.
for him.
jokes from
Like
early 2000s.
Yeah.
he was able to,
Around 2020.
he was able to bring back like Ben Affleck, like people.
Yeah, I mean, he
After
he's
he had a
friends with
heart
Affleck, again,
That's that
which
they,
is
like,
pretty awesome.
buried the hatchet.
So now,
with it.
like, you imagine those actors are probably going to come back in some way, shape, or form in his other movies. Like,
Yeah.
it was just a way after
In
he.
Mallrats too, it's gonna be the exact same cast as
Yeah.
Mallrats, and I imagine, obviously, Clerks 3 is gonna be the same four characters as usual. And they'll
Yeah.
probably add his daughter, and
Will they get Randall back?
hopefully
for
get
that?
Resort. Yep, they buried the hatchet as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. I like that.
Yeah,
And he worked on that for a
Kevin
while.
Smith's
Like, he.
lost his ego.
yeah, he's just like making amends with everyone. It's great.
Well, he didn't want to. He didn't want to come back and do anything.
Jeff Anderson.
Jeff Anderson. He was done.
Yeah, because he wasn't in Reboot.
Yeah.
But
It'll be-
after that movie, that's when they buried the hatchet.
Good.
It's good to hear.
Yeah, I'm glad.
But yeah, so that's a non-recommendation for me.
Well, I'm not.
It sounds like
I second that.
I-
Yeah,
I
it
I
sounds
liked,
like we're
I
splitting.
liked it a lot more the first time I saw it. I like to watch it twice.
Did you go to
I saw it in
road shows?
theaters,
And then we watched
and
it.
everyone was like, I was in a full sold out theater, and everyone was like cracking up. So like, it was impossible not to enjoy it the 1st time.
Was it the roadshow that he was doing?
It was before the roadshow started.
Okay,
Uh,
so it
was
wasn't.
they
it
did
wasn't captive Kevin Smith fans.
no, so they weren't captive, but they were diehard Kevin Smith fans because it was like you couldn't use like an A-list, like it was like a Fathom event or something like that.
Okay.
So people were paying for a full ticket. Yeah, the second time I watched it with you, Corey, and I still found it funny, like, but definitely nowhere near as funny the first time.
But I think I mean, as a spectator, I was definitely enjoying the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Like,
You can go back and watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back repeatedly, and it's still fucking hilarious.
I watched Dogma the other night, and I was like, this
Great
movie's
movie.
amazing.
Yeah.
Great cast.
So we'll see what he's got up his sleeve over the next couple years.
Tusk 2.
JP, I'm not gonna guess your movie. So.
I had it written down here and it disappeared. I watched Moneyball. I had like a lovely kick in the balls from sports this Sunday with the Packers losing, so I was like, fuck it, let's watch another sports movie. But
Wait, what was the record supposed to be this year?
16-0.
Yes.
And they were going to be the only team standing because everyone else gets COVID. So they're doing well.
They are doing well.
They could still win the Super Bowl, but the Titans had to
Yeah.
go and get rid of their COVID. I thought I was really going there for a
It looks
second.
like you had the prediction right, just with the wrong team.
Yeah.
The Steelers.
Steelers,
Yeah,
the Steelers are. They're going to lose out the rest of the season. It's fine.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
Steelers, 6-10.
It's not going to happen. The brief sports. Let's go. So I watched Moneyball thinking, like, oh, I'll watch a sports movie. Then I forgot that there's this whole plot line because Billy Beane was drafted by the Mets and he was a bust. So that's another team I root for. Brings back really bad memories of the Mets being failures. But it's a fantastic movie starring Ben Affleck.
Chris Pratt movie. After all,
Chris Pratt. I forgot he was in it when I was watching it too. That's like some early Chris Pratt shit. And Brad Pitt, whom I adore because he's a great actor.
I think everyone loves Brad Pitt.
And then you got Jonah Hill, fat Jonah Hill still. Not like.
Didn't he get nominated
well, I
for
mean,
that movie?
he yo-yos,
Yeah.
so he might have already been thin by that point, and then gained it back.
And Philip Seymour Hoffman too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot about that as well.
he was the manager of his team.
It's just a great sports movie. It's super analytical, super. It's one of those movies where it's just kind of boring and shit happens, and I love those movies. It's
Those are your
procedural.
favorite too.
They really are. It's a great movie about a team that no one really cared about, and they went on to do some cool stuff, and then failed, and then they've continued to fail
They're
every
still in the
year.
World Series, right?
Yeah, since then, and he's still in charge of the team. He's now president of baseball operations. Good old Billy Beane, and
What other teams?
When was the last time the A's won?
That
80.
model.
oh yeah, I mean the Rays is the
Yeah,
Rays
the
is the
Rays is a
exact
good
same thing.
example.
So
It was the last time the A's
So
won
close to it,
89 when it had the Bash Brothers?
I don't even remember, dude.
Probably was.
Potentially. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you have so many, like the Red Sox modeled it and they won two years after, and then the Rays are doing it now and they got to the actually, it's amazing watching the World Series this year. The Cubs did it. Watching the World Series this year is the exact same story
They won.
because the Rays were playing analytical baseball, and you can't win. Like 9 times out of 10, you're not going to win big games with just analytical baseball.
Yeah, I mean, not to go complete the brief
Sports.
I mean,
but yeah, I mean, it's disgusting when like one player is making more than like the entire team
Yeah.
that they're playing. Like,
Yeah.
it's impressive that they got as close as they did, but yeah, like as you mentioned, like Moneyball tactics only get you so far.
like any given day you can win a game and like you could win it that way, but it's just going to get you to a certain point and you're going to fizzle out because getting on base is great, but you need clutch players, you need heart to the team, and you don't make stupid decisions like taking your starting pitcher out in the 6th inning and then getting fucking jacked up like they did.
Yeah, but like analytics tells you to do that.
For sure, and it was a dumb fucking move.
Yeah.
Because you could tell he was fired up, he was ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Moneyball. I mean, it feels long. I don't know if it's actually a long movie,
It's a little over 2 hours.
but it's
I still have to see it.
It's
on Netflix, right?
it's on Netflix. It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, I plan on watching it soon, actually. I saw it was on there.
Yeah,
You didn't add it to your watch list when you went through everything.
I thought I did.
got it.
Maybe you did.
I think I did.
You saw Brad Pitt's face, like,
I added the
I
founder.
need it.
Begrudgingly, but I added it.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. Fantastic. McDonald's.
Corey's never gonna revisit his watch list.
Absolutely not.
In 5 years, he's gonna be like, huh. Alright, as for myself, I watched the Harley Quinn animated series on HBO Max. Previously on DC Universe, but it has moved to HBO Max, and they're going to be airing season 3 probably the end of 2021. But I watched the first 2 seasons. It's not your usual superhero cartoon, anything like that. It is very much a R-rated action comedy. I would say it's got hints of like Rick and Morty to it, hints of like South Park, all those types of things. It very much takes the characters that you know and love from the Batman comics and just spins them in a way that makes them super ridiculous. I mean, you're getting your Bane. He has the ridiculous Tom Hardy, Dark Knight Rises voice, but he's like a pushover.
Isn't he like the guild accountant or some shit like that?
He works with all of them, but he's the one that like, has to sit in like the broken chair, while everyone else gets like the nice chairs around the table.
It's really funny.
Commissioner Gordon is like a fucking alcoholic cop who just wants to blow things up. And it's got a great like voice talent list across the board. So Kaylee Kiyoko from Big Bang Theory, she's the one who plays Harley Quinn, and Poison Ivy's her best friend on the show. Lake Bell does her voice. So basically, after she breaks up with the Joker for the millionth time, she ends up starting her own crew and wants to prove that she's like an elite supervillain. Shit goes on from there, but her crew consists of like random like D character villains from Batman. So it's like Clayface, Dr. Psycho, King Shark.
Is Condiment King on there?
Yes.
Fucking Condiment King, baby.
Condiment King is ridiculous. And yeah, I mean, Giancarlo Esposito is, because he's on every TV show, he's Lex Luthor.
He's the bad guy on every TV
He just has a great voice cast. I showed Corey an episode over this past week, which was kind of like a standalone one, where it just focuses on Batman for the most part. And then Doug, I believe you just watched the first 3 episodes.
3 episodes, yep.
What did you guys think? And JP, I think you've seen.
I've seen bits and pieces. Like I go down like YouTube holes and end up watching like bits and pieces of the show. It's weird.
Yeah,
It's a little too weird for me.
I think like you would like it. There's still the aspects you probably wouldn't like, but I mean, it very much is like a female empowerment type show. But
It's just
Yeah, I mean, the episode you showed me the other night was my first exposure to it. Like, I heard it's good, and I was dying. It was just all of the, like, the character norms that we expect from Batman and the characters that are in it. They make fun of them in so many great ways. And, like, Bane, like, he has, Tom Hardy's voice from Dark Knight Rises, and it's hilarious. Like, Batman, he's literally crippled, and he still wants to go in the Batsuit, and, like, Alfred's like, no, you can't. Like, you can't move!
Put on your socks. I don't
want to. And it's just, like, it's really funny. It definitely plays off a lot of the characteristics of, Bruce Wayne.
You had mentioned that you thought it, like, you kind of reminded you of the animated series. Like,
like
the
animation one. Yeah, totally.
But then it's like the stupid brother of.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I actually was like,
stupid sister of the
I
animated
actually
series.
was Bruce Timm was involved, and you said no, he wasn't, because it has that feel to it from the animation wise. But Rick and Morty, I can see with the writing, like it.
A lot of pop culture references.
Yeah.
Things like that. What did you think, though?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the humor, it was definitely funny. I think what stuck out to me more than the humor was just, like, the violence. Just, like, over-the-top violence, which I really enjoyed. And just, like, watching characters just get, like, obliterated.
Yeah.
It was kind of a fun, different take than what I've typically seen with the characters. You actually get to see, like, the Joker's, like, beating the shit out of somebody, like
really killing people.
Yeah, you actually, like, feels like
if he throws acid on someone's face, like, you'll see, like, their face
melt away. And it's like, alright, well, like, cool, now it feels like there's consequences.
Yeah.
I can, like, feel the brutality of this character. Mm-hmm. So I enjoyed that. But I'm only 3 episodes in. I would say, like, the first episode I really enjoyed and was kind of hooked. And then the 3rd episode, like, was fine, but it just didn't hook me quite the way the first one did.
Yeah,
so.
The back half of season 1 is where episodes start to feel like they're like to be continued type episodes where it just the plot line just goes straight from one episode to another, and that's when it gets like really good in my opinion.
Yeah, there's a plot hook at the end of season 1, right?
There is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at what that is.
Yeah, but
YouTube holes.
Yeah, that's Harley Quinn. You can find it on HBO Max. Give it a shot. If you want to watch the episode I just mentioned that I showed Corey, to give you an idea of what the show is like without having to start from the very beginning. Season 2, episode 5. I think it's called Batman's Back or something like that. But yeah, that's that. So we can get right into things that a bunch of us watched over this past week. I got Corey to watch Cobra Kai, season 1.
Fucking finally.
Yeah. Since you and me were all about it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I said this in the beginning.
Maybe we can convince Doug to watch it based on if all three of us are now like.
I mean, it's I'm 2 episodes in,
Oh.
so not for me.
You gave Harley Quinn 3.
Yeah, exactly. You have to
You
watch
set a
episode 3.
precedent, man.
I was really pleasantly surprised at how that show was written. Like
Yeah.
how they really twisted the perspective of Johnny and of Daniel LaRusso, and I thought that was so cool because by like episode 3, I feel like I was like, Daniel LaRusso's a fucking douchebag. Like I do not
piece of
like him.
shit, dude.
He's a douchebag.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not even like you're evil. I was just like, I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah.
Mr.
That's
Miyagi
so
would
true.
be disappointed
Oh,
in
yeah.
you. And, I mean, we're human. These things happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
You can still see his perspective
Yeah.
to a degree.
he's lost.
Oh, yeah.
But you're like,
He's lost.
you're handling things poorly.
Exactly.
Like
that-
which I guess if you go back and look at the original Karate Kid movies, is kind of now how you look at Johnny versus
Yeah.
Yeah.
him just being like a fucking psycho who's beating the crap out of this kid.
Yeah, you
But
feel
also,
bad for him.
but also
Yeah.
a lot of it is Daniel LaRusso is a hothead. Like,
Oh yeah,
that's
that's been established.
that's the type of character he is, and he doesn't have Mr. Miyagi anymore as like a balance.
Yeah.
And I really liked how they took that and they reintroduced that in the show, and you know, seeing the different perspectives with Johnny and like how he perceives things that happened back in high school.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just thought it was. You could tell. I said this to you when we were watching it. Like you can tell that fans wrote it.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
People
Harold
that
Kumar writers.
loved the
Definitely
movies
movies.
wrote it, and the cast was very strong. And
Yeah, the kid character, like the high school kids, are
yeah,
They were good.
good
Yeah.
as well. Like you're invested in
daughter.
their
I
stories.
loved the daughter, or Daniel LaRusso's daughter. Johnny's son. I really liked him.
Fucking Hawk.
Hawk, yeah, Hawk was
Dude, that's
insane.
the funniest thing going back and watching season 1 again is
Yeah.
like Hawk's transformation from like the beginning, the first like half of the show,
Yeah.
first 5 episodes of season 1 to the second half, is so different.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's so funny because and I'm interested to go back and watch it again because you see like Johnny like literally brainwashes him.
Oh, yeah.
He like fucking brainwashes him, but he like releases like a demon in so many ways.
Yeah.
And then by the end, I'm like, you're a douchebag. Like the end of the season.
Yeah, Hawk's a piece of shit.
But it
Wait till season 2.
Yeah.
it's nostalgic, and it also pokes fun at
Oh, yeah.
you know Karate Kid, and
Yeah, like it, you know, it's
pays homage.
goofy, like karate's taken over the valley. Like it's this insanely popular thing that the whole school's obsessed with.
It's cringy as fuck as someone that did Taekwondo as a
Yeah.
kid, and it's like Karate Kid was cringy as fuck for someone that did Taekwondo as a kid. All these things are.
But I also loved I loved how they paid tribute to Pat Morita in it
Oh, yeah.
because I mean those movies. I mean, we all grew up on those movies. I mean,
It's Pat Morita in those movies. Like you
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
you can
just
replace.
look at Pat Morita.
Yeah, you can take out fucking Ralph Macchio and put someone else in. It's Pat Morita is those movies.
Yeah.
So.
and it's a good supplement to the movies, which is crazy because the movies came out such a long time ago,
Yeah.
and I wonder.
Yeah, they had no right for this thing to actually work.
No, and it
Absolutely.
works so well. It makes me want. I mean, we watched 2, and did we watch 1 and 2 a couple weeks ago, or just 2?
2. Yeah,
And
'cause I'd never seen 2
now I want to go back and
fully.
I want to watch both of them again.
You
And
should watch season 2 before you watch both of them. Again.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, next Karate Kid, or not next Karate Kid, the Karate Kid Part 3,
Yeah.
which
Is
is
that the one with Hilary Swank?
no, that's next Karate Kid.
Yeah, that's
Karate Kid Part 3 is the villain
I think I've seen
Terry.
the first
What's
one,
his name
maybe
with
second
the he has a ponytail, which is every '90s villain.
one. I've never seen the third one.
But
neither have I.
yeah, I mean, I really liked it.
Well, Doug, you should watch 3 episodes because that's your precedent.
You've set
That's
a
JP
very
said.
dangerous precedent now watching 3 episodes of Harley Quinn.
You just can't stand the fact that Daniel's like kind of a dick. I think that's like what
Maybe
you're
that's
struggling
what
with.
Maybe that's.
I don't know
He's
how
like,
you-
he's like your hero.
You know what? I was thinking about this. Because my brother, as you guys know, is a huge Karate Kid fan, And I'm gonna watch this with him at some point, and I think that is gonna be
I might
really.
upset him. It's
I
gonna
think
be like
that's
Luke Skywalker.
yeah. I think that's gonna be a
Last
hard
Jedi.
thing. I think that's gonna be a really hard thing for him to overcome because I mean, that was literally when he was
like
a
the fact
teenager.
that these things show that our heroes, like our heroes in pop culture and shit like that, they're flawed. Like they're like anyone else. Like they're not these like
They're
perfect
humans.
people. Yeah.
Exactly.
Luke Skywalker in Last Jedi, that was just fucking horrible writing and fucking stupid. It was just the laziest goddamn thing. I hate that movie.
Luke Skywalker was also a whiny motherfucker from the
Yeah.
first like moment we saw him in A New Hope.
There's no way he hardened up to be this guy that lives. He'd be whining the whole way into growing
I
that
don't
beard.
want to open the
But
Last Jedi.
it's just
can of
Obi-Wan's
worms.
ghost. Grow your beard, Luke, you little baby. No, it itches. I don't want to drink the blue milk anymore, Obi-Wan. Stop being a pansy.
Did you have the blue milk at Hollywood Studios?
Yeah, blue milk's good.
Yeah?
Good.
Yeah, actually, I really like blue
With
milk.
alcohol or without?
With alcohol.
Is it
You get the
milk?
rum.
Is it actually
No,
milk?
it's
What is it?
plant based.
But does it taste like milk?
Do they serve it from a teat?
No, it doesn't.
Did you get to milk it yourself?
It's kind of got like a creaminess to it for sure.
So it's like a white Russian, but tinted blue.
They
What
put
kind of alcohol you
rum. They
put in
put
it?
rum in it. So
Rum.
it's, but yeah, blue milk's good. Green milk tastes like shit.
Oh, okay. All right. So green milk, stay
So
away.
blue is okay.
I'm
And
gonna
blue
try
is the
anyway.
original trilogy, so that makes sense.
I'm gonna try
And
everything.
if you have green or blue milk in your house, don't drink.
Can you get Dole Whip in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge?
I don't understand the.
Pineapple.
I don't understand
Is there like a movie? Is that
No,
really-
there's no. I'm just saying Dole Whip is Disney.
But it's not in
Can
a
you-
galaxy far, far away.
I know, but it's still Disney.
It's
Can you
exclusive to
get
its own
Dole Whip?
area.
I'm just asking.
I've
is Dole Whip
never
available?
thought out Dole Whip.
You have to have Dole Whip everywhere.
There's
in
no
every
I've
park.
never
consistency.
had Dole Whip.
I
I've
know.
been to Disney World.
You've never
It's
had
not-
Dole Whip
No.
ever?
Dude, there's so many weird inconsistencies about those parks anyway. Remember when we were in the Magic Kingdom, we were like talking to the guy in the bathroom, we were like, yo, where can we find the alcohol? He goes,
I remember
"You
that.
silly morons. There's no alcohol in the Magic Kingdom.
Kingdom,
We're like,
You just
We're
have to-
standing-
we've been drinking all day.
We're standing in Magic Kingdom at 2 a.m. We're
But
like,
we're gonna have a
"No!"
hangover on Splash Mountain.
How could you do this to
You
us?
just gotta go to the restaurants. You can drink.
Yeah, this was even pre-restaurant.
This was before
Yeah,
they started
we
doing
were in
that.
like the food court bathroom asking a guy. He's like, nah.
Yeah,
He
now
kind of
you
made
gotta
it
go to
seem
the
like he was
restaurant.
he would have been able to get us some, but
No, you get your hands chopped off. If you smuggle into the tunnels, they'll kill you.
Yeah, now, like the tip for Magic Kingdom is just like make the reservation so you can just like pop in.
Drink before you go, make a reservation to every couple of hours. so you
Yeah,
get
that's
some
the only way to
drinks.
get through Magic
I'm gonna have a
Kingdom.
hangover.
The other parks though, it's like
Yeah.
alcohol flows freely.
Alright.
That's the one thing about Universal I think is good because you can get wasted at Universal just like standing on line.
Yeah, 100%. They'll like roll the credit card out to you. So, tips on theme parks.
All right.
Hell yeah, live
Yeah.
theme parks.
Alright.
Let's
Nothing
go.
to do with Cobra Kai, people, but cool. We'll put Disney on our title now. Let me get some more hits.
Yeah, Disney,
Uh,
Marvel, YouTube.
Let's move on to The Queen's Gambit.
Yeah.
So, Doug, you recommended this
Yep.
on our last episode. Since then, JP and myself have both watched it. I watched it in one fucking sitting one night. I was like,
Yikes.
I watched like an episode. I'm like, I like it. I'm like, I really have nothing else to do. I'll just watch the whole thing. And yeah, 6 episodes after that, I finished it.
How much chess can you play now?
None.
No chess.
I attempted chess in 5th grade, I think.
I look forward to all the
And
kids
it was
who
not
think
good.
they can play chess.
Oh,
now.
chess sales have like
Oh, through the
gone
roof.
through the roof since this show.
There's like a little spike in
And-
chess on Twitch recently too, but it was back before this came out.
Yeah, chess sets and those blue pills. They've also gone through the roof.
We can't give kids tranquilizers
Yeah.
anymore.
When the first episode, I was like, what the fuck are you giving these kids? She looked so high, like, after she took the first one. My god.
Yeah.
But Anya Taylor-Joy, man. Fantastic.
She's a great actress.
I didn't like her.
Oh.
I thought
What is wrong with
I
you?
thought almost literally every person in this series was a husk. There was no liveliness to anyone but the mother.
Well, it made sense.
The mother was just like,
Dudley Dursley didn't
And then
have
dies.
any...
Dudley Dursley's in this
Wow.
too. Why is he in all the
Oh,
things
he's
now?
coming back.
he was
Yeah,
fine.
He was the villain in the Old Guard.
Yep.
He
Can we
is
talk
like
about the
I think he has a
Netflix?
Netflix deal.
he's getting
He's
roles.
been on so many
he's
Netflix
getting roles
things
everywhere.
He was in that Coen Brother Western.
Yeah.
Was he in the Double all the time also?
Yeah.
Wow.
But, yeah.
Can we talk about the neckbeard that was in the 1960s?
All about neckbeards.
The kid that's got the wispy... The guy that looks like they took a 16-year-old boy and glued hair on his face and put a hat and a knife on him. Every time he showed up, I was like, why?
He was a little cheesy with his mustache.
Oh my god.
I was like, you look like a little baby boy.
I think he's a 30-year-old man.
He didn't look like
We
30-year-old
looked it
man.
up. I think he was...
Or like
He's
30-year-old.
from like Game of Thrones. He's been like in like a lot of
Who
stuff.
was he on Thrones? A baby boy?
He was a kid, yeah. He was like
a child.
a
He looks like a 16-year-old that they put glued hair
If he
on.
was season 1, that makes sense.
And he shows up with like a leather duster.
Like, I'm the cool chess player.
He's like,
Yeah,
I'm
my
playing
knife.
chess. I got this knife, so if anyone beats me at chess, I'll...
His
All this
brothers were
happened
apparently
in-
very horny back in the day as well.
All this happened in
Oh,
Queen's
60s.
Gambit? I
That's
swear.
true.
Love.
Yeah.
I said all this happened in Queen's
yeah, it's a lot of
Gambit?
sex and alcohol.
Yeah.
Sex, alcohol, and chess.
Pills.
He did not tell me about this.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Like, it's like a very different show than like what you'd expect.
You just have to watch it.
They made chess very interesting. I just thought a lot of the performances were just like husks. Like, she is just like...
She's so high.
She's just weird. She's just like... The whole time. I have no emotions.
Yeah,
I have
which is
no
what I
feeling.
expected
I
from
play
her.
chess.
Like, I thought she was gonna be like on the spectrum. Like she's a super crazy good chess player. Like I was expecting
Like
that type of role.
introverted.
What I was not expecting her was to be fucking popping pills, drinking like a sailor, like
Yeah.
fucking
That's
and
a
all
lot.
these other things. Like that was not what I was expecting from the Queen's Gambit.
No. Was this might be spoilers. What the fuck happened with that newspaper guy? Was he gay?
They
Yes.
implied it.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I was wondering, like, they didn't imply it enough, and I was just like,
They did a weird job with it.
Yeah, because he
Because
was
he seemed like into her.
yeah.
yeah.
And then the guy comes in, he's like, I'm just gonna go put on a bathing suit.
Yeah, I'll leave it to you.
I was like, yeah, I mean,
But then, like, she figured it out like immediately.
Yeah.
yeah.
But then everyone else seemed like confused at what was going on.
I was confused.
Yeah, the audience.
After that episode, like, my wife and I, like, we turned to each other, we were like, was he gay? Or, like, was that just, like,
That's a misunderstanding.
I asked after the show ended, I went to my wife and said, that guy was gay? Still don't understand.
But yeah, the mom was really fucking good.
She was great, I loved her.
She was
she's
awesome.
That whole relationship with
I love her,
Matt
like,
was
relationship.
fantastic.
Yeah.
when she gets, like, adopted, I was like, this isn't gonna go well.
Yeah.
And then they're, like, fucking best buds.
I thought she was gonna, like, exploit her at some point.
Yeah.
She
But
doesn't.
they didn't
She's
at all.
just, like, chill.
She like calmly asked, like, can it be like a 10% management fee? And then when she's like 15% bitch, I was like, mother-daughter power.
Enjoy your raise, spend it on booze. My mother was like, yeah, small Bud Lights. No, more PBRs. More PBRs for me, daughter.
Yeah, she was like very much into beer over anything.
Or beer and then martinis with the olive, not the olives, the little pearl onion in them, which is
She
disgusting.
very much enabled her daughter to start like drinking from a very young age.
But it was the 60s, so drinking age was like 18.
Yeah, the
so
beer.
This is not what I
it's
was
really
expecting.
nothing different than like you give your kid a couple drinks at 19
Yeah.
and send them on the wrong way.
I liked how also the show brought in characters and then brought them like back in like episodes later. Like it just showed like
Yeah.
the growth of like the whole world. Like
It felt like there was a world outside.
like the pharmacist like appearing like
Yeah.
5 episodes later and then being like, oh, you're gonna steal the magazine again?
It's like, no, I'm actually
You're
rich as fuck. Got a lot of money.
And I thought it was just good.
Yes.
It was a very tight miniseries. I thought it didn't last longer than it was supposed to. I think 7 episodes was like a perfect amount.
Do you think it's going to get renewed as
I don't want it to.
I have no
No,
desire
I
to
want
watch
it.
any more.
I just kind of want more.
I am all for
What?
miniseries,
Yeah.
miniseries. They told the story from start to
It ended
finish.
so
It was a
nicely.
book. Like so, this was an adaptation of a book from the 80s. They finished the book. Actually, good.
So what they do in the second season is they make her a CIA agent that overthrows the Russian government.
Starts working with Rocky
There you
Balboa.
go.
They're still doing shit in the 80s. And
Will it go the way of the Watchmen and only be one season?
yeah, that's what it should do.
I hope so. I really like the Russian chess players too, like the guy with the crazy fucking hair and the
Yeah.
scarf. I was like, this guy fucks.
He
sounded like this guy fucks. Sure enough, he was like the nicest dude. I was like, this guy's a child.
I didn't put two and two together that like she had read his book previously.
Yeah. There's a lot of names that get thrown around that I was like,
if you start rushing a name like in the second line.
But I was telling Julia, like, the Russians were like the nicest fucking people that you play against.
They're dirty fucking cheaters though, because they all sat
Well,
down in that room.
There was that little Russian horn dog.
What? I missed something and I came back in the room and I said, why is she talking to a 12-year-old? Who the fuck was that?
It was her like greatest opponent up until that point. And she kept like distracting him by like getting up and like walking around, like so he'd like start watching her walk away and stuff like that. It was clever.
I missed a lot of that, I guess, because I was like, why is she talking to a Russian 12-year-old?
Yeah. That was funny. I enjoyed that.
That reminded me of a character from Princess Diaries 2. There's like one of the barons is like an 11-year-old boy that's trying to bang Anne Hathaway because he's like, I'm going to the Bachelor, I'm 11.
Oh, he was the kid from Disney's The Kid.
Yes, he was the kid from Disney's The Kid, yeah. And that reminded me of that. He's like this little shit that's just trying to like bang everyone. Like, you're 11. Calm down.
Can't even do anything with it. Alright, enough of the Queen's Gambit.
Yeah.
That show has been spoiled and away from me. No.
I haven't even seen one episode. Although now
I said spoilers.
I am more fascinated.
Actively adding a spoiler.
I'm fascinated to actually watch the show now.
In some ways,
More so
You might enjoy it more.
because I did not know about any of this. I was just like,
I know I've watched movies that we've like. I've never seen a movie that you guys were discussing. When I watch it, I'm like, it is in no way, shape, or form the movie that they described to me. And in some ways, I feel cheated. And in some ways, I feel like I've watched this movie on a different plane. Not the movie you were talking about, but I can't wait to find out what the fuck was going through your head when you were talking about it.
Man.
Alright, what do we got next? The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion.
I still want to watch this. I need to.
I know, that's why your name's on the outline for having watched it.
I won't watch it because I never watched the original one.
Really?
No.
You didn't watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Fresh Prince just wasn't my thing. I've seen episodes. Just not my thing.
More of a Family
Also-
Matters person?
No, I don't watch any of
More
those shitty like.
Cosby Show guy?
Yeah.
You know it. No, I never watched any of those fucking 80s, early 90s sitcoms. I don't like
That's a
sitcoms
shame.
for the most part.
Yeah, they're great.
Some great
Step by
romance.
You
Step?
say it's the shit.
No Step by Step?
Fucking Patrick Duffy. Every
I
time I
love
saw like, I don't even what's the theme song to Step by? Oh, it's Step by Step. And he's just like
Day by day.
Patrick
And
Duffy.
he's
It was like, and then Suzanne Summers is like,
You just have to... The theme songs back then, they just had the title in the song.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I like Step by Step. And like the
Oh,
really
God.
tall oaf-looking guy in Step by Step that like I forgot his name.
yeah, he had
Except
the
for
really deep
Full House.
voice, and he was like,
Never
"Oh."
mentions Full House. It just talks about, like...
Full House is terrible.
Skibidi
now.
ba da ba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full House.
Was that a song? That,
Scrambled eggs.
Was that a song that they
That's
like
Frasier.
threw in there?
Huh?
Was that a song they just threw in there, or was that like made for Full House?
It was probably like a
No, that was definitely made for
very
Full
famous
House.
song.
It's like Family Matters doesn't say Family Matters either, right?
I'm
So
hearing the
like-
Family Matters theme song in my head when I'm thinking about Full House now.
Yeah, that's Full House.
That's Full House.
Everywhere you look.
Everywhere.
Everywhere
Okay.
there's a heart. There's a heart.
Everywhere.
I
That's coming
I
back.
never watched any of those fucking TV
I love
shows.
Family
Missing
Matters.
out.
Yeah. Lots of like valuable
Stefan
lessons
Urkel.
were learned in that.
That was the best arc when Urkel was just like, I'm gonna turn myself into another person.
We knew, audience, we knew this would be a very long episode because the four of us are together and we're drinking. And the topics would bring about these ridiculous conversations. So,
What time is it? Like
probably have another,
Yeah.
3 in the morning on Thanksgiving then?
probably have another hour
I
left.
love that Murph's like our Deadpool that just breaks the fourth wall like every now and then.
What time is it?
It's 11:17.
All right,
We're doing well.
we're behind schedule.
Gotta check in.
But let's go on to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. What did you think, man?
It was awesome.
Yeah, like the fact that they were in the recreated room, everything.
Yeah,
like,
they rebuilt the set from the TV show.
Like to look
Is
exactly.
it an episode or is it just them chilling?
It's them chilling.
It's-
It's
yeah,
an
it's
hour
them
and a half
chilling.
special. Them all talking and whatnot, showing random clips and shit like that. talking a lot of like behind the scenes memories and things like that. The biggest thing the show had for everyone was that it brought back the original Aunt Viv.
Both Vivs.
It brought back Viv 1 for the first time that Will Smith and her or any of them have interacted in 27 years since she got let go from the show.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What did she do to him? Did she like kill his family or something?
No, I mean, it seemed like
It seemed like she was a little bit difficult to work with because she was like pregnant. She had like issues at home.
had an abusive husband.
Yeah, it
she
sounds like
also didn't work, so she was the breadwinner.
Yeah,
the
it
show wanted
sounds
to
like-
pay her less money.
Yeah, and so it sounded like she had a lot of things going on. Probably wasn't the greatest person to work with because of all those
I
things.
can't imagine being a great person with all that shit going on.
Yeah,
And so like,
And meanwhile,
I don't-
Will Smith's like, I'm trying to build my career.
Yeah.
Like anything that comes against me from like doing that feels like threatening. Like he said, like he felt threatened by like everyone.
Yeesh.
So it seemed like there was a lot of miscommunication or lack of communication, which ultimately led to her not taking the deal that they wanted to give her. Ultimately, she blamed Will for everything. But man, that conversation that they had was like not the type of thing you expect in a reunion special.
yeah.
It was like a real serious, like, this is why we
Like
had
therapy
problems.
session
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yikes.
I'm excited to watch
and
it.
The fact that Will Smith was like cool with that, like he's
Yeah.
his biggest.
Ballsy of him to do that because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like he had nothing to like gain from like
Yeah,
sitting
he just
down and
dude,
like
he just takes it. Like,
and
Well, he's
hearing
got the
this person.
Scientology backing him up too, though, so you don't have to worry too much when you got old Tom Cruise there pulling the strings.
Oh, he's a Scientologist?
I believe, yeah, he's in that type of thing.
Oh.
But I mean, just over the past year, like he had that whole like thing where an interview where Jada Pinkett was basically like, "Yeah, I was fucking another dude while we were married."
Yo,
And like
Yeah, I've
he's just
never
like
seen that.
he's just like on TV, like listen to
the
this,
sad Will Smith
like,
face.
like crying, yeah, like tears,
Jesus.
like all
He's
red
so
faced. And then he had this, like he's taking his bumps.
Yeah.
But I mean, we talked about him earlier this year and how like his career, whether it's been a little up and down, unless he's in a franchise or anything like that.
Yeah.
He hasn't had too much success.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, in 2020, he's got the #1 movie in America, with Bad Boys for Life.
Yo.
And I know it's an asterisk.
Yeah,
It's an asterisk here.
No,
And
you're
now-
saying that Bad Boys for Life wouldn't be the #1 movie.
He would absolutely have been in the top 10. But the fact that it's #1's wild. And then he had this Fresh Prince reunion,
Yeah,
which
it's a good year
is
for
a
it.
big thing for HBO Max.
seemed like a lot of
Until
people watched
Wonder
it.
Woman, like if it wasn't for Wonder Woman, this might have been the biggest HBO Max thing since it launched.
I mean, I always loved Fresh Prince. Always.
Yeah, but the thing with Aunt Viv was the craziest. Obviously, it gave a great tribute to James Avery,
Yeah.
Uncle Phil. Since
Yeah, I
he was
mean,
the only
he's the best
person that
part of
wasn't
the
able to
show.
be there.
we saw they did that like mini reunion where they did a tribute to James Avery before that.
Yeah, the one from earlier
They all
this year.
so, like,
So
so
you
much
knew
respect
like
for him.
you knew it was coming.
Oh
and
yeah,
you knew
it
gonna be
was
rough.
like so emotional. Like
Yeah.
they're all crying. Like
Yeah, the amount of respect is like unbelievable.
yeah, he was like the heart of the show. Like he was the most respected actor.
Mhm.
Yeah, probably like the story that got me the most was like the like famous scene where he's
Yeah.
like, "You don't love me."
Yeah,
Or, why doesn't he love me,
About
man?
his dad. Yeah.
With
And
his
he
dad.
said-
And
Why,
like,
why doesn't he want me, man?
or yeah, why doesn't he want me, man? And it's just like the behind, like that was a scene that like everyone talks about. It was like just being emotional and like
Yeah.
the performance by Will Smith. And then when you find out like the behind the scenes
Yeah, it's really cool.
of him, his interaction with James Avery, and like the way that he like James Avery kind of helped him through that scene.
Didn't he say like,
Yeah,
this
like
year,
Will-
like
Will-
while filming, like this is what it means to be an actor?
Yeah.
Like
Like Will flubs his
Hugging.
like line and he was like freaking out and like it's in front of the live
It's
studio
live, yeah.
audience.
yeah.
So like that's pretty crazy. And he's just like, hey, like get back here, like use me, like we're gonna get this. And then like the next take, he got it, and it's the one that's on the video. And then like when they're like embracing at the end, he's like, now this is acting. And like Will Smith's just like, this is the best. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to get that.
It's like a mentor.
To hear that, it just means a lot. And one of the funny things was they're showing like from like early episodes of the show,
Mhm.
and Will Smith memorized like everyone's lines because he had never acted before or anything like this. And you could watch him in the episodes mouthing.
Oh Lord!
Like he's in a scene with Don Cheadle as a guest star, and he's just like saying, like mouthing Don Cheadle's lines, and then saying his lines like right after, and just watching him like watch. It's like so funny. Like you probably thought it was the most cringeworthy thing in the world. You have to go back and see.
That's crazy. Yeah, I definitely have to watch it. You said it's like an hour and a half?
Yeah.
It was pretty quick watch.
It's been a big year with all these reunions, like these virtual ones.
Yeah.
But
that was the best one.
Had a long gap
Yeah.
in between them too. They were coming out like hot.
they were hot and heavy.
Yeah, Josh Gad kind of like, after he stopped his reunited apart,
Yeah, they kind of tapered off.
right up.
But there's something about doing them in person that just makes them so
yeah.
much better. And the fact that they were all in the original, the recreated
The recreated set, yeah.
because it looked identical. Like, it was amazing. But, yeah, I definitely recommend. And hopefully we get some more of these. Seems like it's the big thing HBO Max is doing. Because I know they're doing Friends next year. And I think they just did The West Wing. Also.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Like, right before the election, they did a West Wing one.
Your brother would fucking love that.
Yeah. I probably loved West Wing.
Alright, and then the last thing we have for what we watched is Mando. We've got 2 episodes to cover, episodes 3 and 4. So episode 3 was the one with
Katie Sackhoff.
yeah,
Battlestar Galactica.
With Sasha Banks, a WWE fan.
Of course.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
And then that other guy.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
some random.
they were random
And
Mandos.
episode 4 was
Random
dealing
randos,
with
let's go.
what was
Carl
Carl
Weathers.
Weathers is back.
Mhm.
And,
Gina
Carano.
Yeah.
and
Front
Horatio
line.
Sands.
Fucking dude. I
Is he
had no
the
idea
blue
it was
guy?
Horatio. Yeah,
That's the blue guy.
I had no idea it was him until the
Voice
end
sounds-
of season 1.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
The voice sounded familiar for so long, and that makes sense. So
Yeah.
okay,
But
2 really fun episodes,
Yeah, they were good.
and I just watched them, like literally like 4 hours ago,
Oh, wow.
because I realized before we were filming, I was like, shit, I didn't see.
you have a job to do, Dan.
I didn't see the last 2 episodes. I'm behind, so I watched both of them back to back a couple hours ago, and yeah, I thought they were a lot of fun. Bryce Dallas Howard, that episode was great. I thought she.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
It was
Which one was that?
That was
episode 4.
Fish Lady.
Yeah, Fish.
Frog Lady.
Frog Lady.
The
Frog
one
Lady
where-
got
Eggs. The Bo-Katan.
The
first
yeah,
one.
Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
She just.
Did you guys hear about that? I don't know which scene it was, but there was like, she basically like shot for shot recreated like Apollo 13. I don't know, Apollo 13.
Really? No.
Interesting.
Apparently people caught it and like she tweeted out like, I'm glad like you
That's
guys saw
awesome.
that.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I just
Fucking
thought.
Papa's movie.
Yeah.
I just thought that episode it didn't have a lot of plot. Like it was very light on the plot,
Yeah.
but the character development was really spot on. Like it had
Episode 3 you're talking about?
yeah.
It expanded the universe a lot.
Yeah, it had really interesting characters.
It
that
had Lionel from Gone Baby Gone.
Gone Baby Gone. It had Katie Sackhoff, my
Which,
Starbuck from
doing her character
Galactica.
from Clone Wars.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
feel like I'm missing out now. because
I know, I do too.
I didn't watch
I
Clone
didn't
Wars.
watch Clone Wars
knew that
either.
they brought her in to do
I'm
this,
only
that's
I'm
great.
only fanboying because I love her from Battlestar, but I haven't seen her in Clone
I didn't
Wars.
like her on 24. Katie Sackhoff.
I don't even
think
fucking remember.
I believe
her
she was a
from
mole. Because nearly everyone was
Everyone was a
on
mole.
24.
I don't think I like anyone on 24 outside of Jack because they were all bad people.
Soul Patch Tony.
Oh yeah, obviously so much.
I mean, he was bad for one season, but
I didn't like Chloe. She's there forever.
Clone Wars is supposed to be like really good. I need to sit down and actually watch it.
Well, like,
People love it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bo-Katan's like entire backstory is
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
Clone Wars and
yeah,
like
Dark
related to
Saber.
the Dark Saber, like
Fallen
her like
Mandalorian.
weapon.
She's a Mandalorian.
And Darth Maul too. She has a lot of like inner.
And apparently, it was like a huge gripe that in like the Clone Wars, the Mandalorians like took off their helmets, and so it's kind of cool how they explained it. Where they
Yeah.
were just like,
So
yeah,
is
setting
the
up
Mando the cult or are they the fucking
Mando-
cult?
I mean,
Mando
Mando
is-
seems like
I don't know,
cult.
dude. I think the ones
anyone
that
that
take the
has
helmets
scripture
off.
rules, I figure is
Yeah, but you know what? Then they're all like free will. Maybe they're the hippies of the Mandos, and you don't want to get
Or
involved
like
in
the
that
Manson family.
hippie Mando cult where they take their clothes off. And
They're
shit.
definitely setting up and expanding, which I even though the plot didn't really progress that much in that episode, I was really happy they did that.
It's another episode where they could have made it not 30 minutes. Because at the end of the episode, she's like, well, I gotta go off and do this thing. Bye! And then just disappears. And I was like, you could have put 10 more minutes into this episode and kind of made it a little bit more
That was the most
off.
disappointing thing about that episode.
And
it was too short.
Maybe it's COVID stuff that does it, where they gotta cut these
I don't
episodes
think
off.
so, because they filmed this last fall.
Yeah.
It was
that one was
it was too
10
short.
minutes.
It was like that was the first thing that I noticed. I was like, this is like oddly too short.
They
It's like
cut
30
the end
minutes.
just like right.
Yeah.
It's like Fantastic Beasts 3. It just ends and it's weird.
But it was a fun episode.
I like what they're doing with the Imperials. So you never really get to see a whole lot of like the inner workings of the Imperial Army. But then when the guy's just like, you know what to do, he's yup, and just blows guys away. He's like, ah.
The scene with Bosch.
Yeah.
The smoke monster. Whatever.
Lionel from
Yeah. He was great.
I thought that was cool.
Oliver. For those listening who actually want to know the guy's name.
I have the numbers.
It's Bosch, though.
Sure.
The smoke monster, I'll take
Yeah,
care
he
of
was
those
a
two.
smoke monster.
But even the following episode, I mean, the following episode was good in different ways because it brought back Gina Carano and Carl Weathers, who characters from the previous season that we really liked, and it was like a cool, like
taking care of you. You can take care of him.
Yeah, Carl Weathers is amazing acting.
But I wonder, like, is now Gina Carano's like her character is she gonna join the rebellion?
She is going to be the female of the Star Wars show.
I think that'd be
That
awesome.
they are working on.
Yeah.
You
She's
know,
an interesting
There's a
character.
lot of articles going out there saying that this is how they're going to fire her.
Really.
Yeah, there's a lot of articles that are just blindly written about how, because she tweets
People
about
like
things,
it.
they're
Had
going to fire
some like bad
Twitter
like,
stuff.
tweets that weren't like the greatest, right?
Yeah,
So
so
what do you mean?
it was some,
The ones where she showed her boobs. That one.
What? Wait.
no.
Not those like that.
It's just like
Pull that up
politically
arms about
motivated
that.
stuff, and people are on the cancel Gina Carano train. But they're like these weird articles that have like blinders on, writing only about how this is a way to just get her off the show. I mean, it's very obvious that they're setting up a show for her because everyone likes the character.
Yeah,
It's a great character.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's a very interesting character. Like, she was a soldier,
And it's gonna be like some badass flying around in an
Anyone who
X-wing.
thinks they're getting
Like,
rid of her is...
I don't think
there's
so.
a lot of like
Especially in that last
just like
episode.
clickbait articles.
Like,
being written. It's like,
she's on like the main key arc for the show.
Yeah.
For season 2.
Dude, it's
But even-
amazing what people write.
Even that conversation that she has with the that rebel officer, where he's like, you're from Alderaan, aren't you? And like, Star Wars, you're a Star Wars fan, like, you're like, holy shit, there's another person that was affected by what happened when the fucking planet
Well, she says
blew
it in the
up.
first episode. They go into that, and I always thought that was so cool.
So
That's motivation to
she's
fight
chip
for
on her
the
shoulder.
rebels, right? That's gonna be badass. She'd be flying around in a fucking X-wing, jumping out, like killing people and shit, killing stormtroopers.
But just as a whole, I really like how
I'm just
they.
waiting. You go first. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that I really like how they introduce like more Mandalorian, like slowly, like diverse, different Mandalorian into the universe.
I'm just waiting for fucking Rosario Dawson to show up.
Dude, I'm blue ball so hard.
Come on, man!
I think you're going to
I was hoping. No, when they mentioned her, I was like, all right, she's gonna show up at the end of this episode. I'm
Did
like,
you
oh
not
my
watch
god.
season 1 of Mandalorian? Like,
No, but like that one wasn't like tease something in the first episode and then fucking string you along. So ever since Boba Fett, I was like, oh cool, maybe more Boba Fett. No, fucking Ice Planet with stupid fucking spiders. Okay, all right, now they got let's go Jedi's. Oh no, another filler episode. All right, maybe Jedi's in the next one. Oh no, Carl Weathers.
so
We
Mandalorian.
did get Moff Gideon though. He was like
I
standing
think
in that like
we
hallway.
talked about this. It's like first episode, last episode.
All you need to see.
Things happen.
But
The
that's
middle
what's
episodes
not
are just
true about
like
the first season. There was like cool shit going on. There wasn't like a super tease the whole time. It's not like they were teasing Moff Gideon. Like if Moff Gideon showed up in episode 1 of Mandalorian season 1, and then you didn't see him again until the last one, I'd be fucking pissed.
Kind of basically got it.
Yeah,
We only saw it once.
The big season 1, you dealt with like where Herzog was like in the first episode
Mhm.
because he wanted a child, and then they killed him in the finale of season 1.
I didn't really
I
care
want
about that
the
as much.
baby.
It's fucking Werner Herzog.
Give me the
They're
baby.
like main Star Wars
Yeah.
personalities in front of us the whole time. We're just like,
We'll get him eventually.
Yeah, so if
we get them the last movie.
We're gonna get him.
Oh, it's gonna be the last episode. What? 8 episodes?
So the title of this week is The Jedi.
Yeah,
It's
Alright,
been
so that's the soap.
But now,
Yeah.
but no. So in the same vein of everyone writing articles about them firing Gina Carano, they're like, well, actually, this would be a really good time to introduce Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, they're
Mark
like,
Hamill killed himself before.
They're saying that they're recasting him as
He's
someone
done.
that's, like,
They also
younger.
cannot recast Mark
Oh my
Hamill.
God. Dude, the filth that I get on my Google Now, just like garbage articles out there, you know who you are.
yeah.
You know who you
I have to
are.
hide stuff because it's just garbage ass clickbait.
We're never gonna clickbait you, everyone.
Star
We just want you to know that.
Star Wars,
Yeah.
unfortunately, has
Websites.
become in the excess
Although
of
we are eventually going to get to the new Marvel news that we put in the title
Yes,
of
that's coming.
but Dave Filoni's directing the next episode.
Good.
So probably something has to happen.
It's gotta be Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
They're gonna bait it, and Rosario Dawson not playing Ahsoka. She's gonna be playing someone else.
No, she's just not.
She's gonna be playing her character from Clerks 2.
She's gonna be in episode 1 of season 3.
Don't do that to me. Don't do it. I have to have something to look forward to.
We'll find out in a few days.
Yeah, I'm excited. That's gonna be
A few days tomorrow, right?
no.
No, tomorrow.
Still Wednesday.
Oh yeah, I keep thinking tomorrow's Friday. I don't know why.
Because time means nothing in 2020.
It doesn't.
Sure.
Especially during holiday week.
on a holiday week where I took off 2 days. I still think it's Monday.
God.
Alright, that's it for what we watched. We'll get back to you on Mando, maybe Rosario Dawson next week.
Luke
But
Skywalker.
yeah, definitely not Luke Skywalker. But for
We're gonna
now,
all be eating crow next week, but it's
I'll
like
just
so
won't
Luke
appear.
Skywalker was in the episode.
I'll do the episode with a bag over my head if that's the case.
I think we all should.
We're all eating shoes.
Yeah. But let's get into our main topic, our feature presentation, and which is what we are thankful for. Since, as we are filming this, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. That's why we're all together.
Yeah.
Our friend is home from Florida.
Yeah.
So we're all
Home in Jersey.
breaking COVID protocols.
Yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
we all took tests and we're all negative.
Yeah.
so
Test
we're
at
good.
the door.
There are some
all
tests
day,
that were
every day.
taken. to be honest.
Thermometers, temperature testing.
But yeah, let's get into what we're thankful for in pop culture. So movies, TV shows, that sort of thing. We'll keep things a little light. But Corey, you want to get into Twin Peaks?
Yeah. So
Unless you have an Audible, in which case.
No.
I'm just gonna audible a whole episode.
I'm actually Audibling, just so you guys
At
know.
midnight, Doug's gonna be like, audible. This whole
This is-
episode.
I mean,
Start over.
We just title this episode Audible. But yeah, no, Twin Peaks is definitely a show for me that I absolutely love. Like it's so hard to explain. It's got like great mystery. It's got horror, bits of horror, and it does like a great play on like the soap opera type of genre. And I didn't watch it until relatively recently, probably like maybe 5 years ago. I started watching it a little bit before the revival season came out on Showtime. And because I've seen bits and pieces of the episodes, David Lynch, I've always loved his movies, so I started watching the show, and I was blown away at how good it was. And there's just the character development, the different plot lines in the show are just, they're fantastic. I mean, if you like shows with ghosts and like mystery and like spooky things like that, it's definitely like a show I would watch.
It's always a show I wanted to get into.
You're a big Kyle MacLachlan fan, right?
So much symbolism.
Don't know who that is.
Ever since the Flintstones,
Mm.
he's the pervy guy in the Flintstones.
Oh lord.
Who works
Yeah.
for
Oh
Alan Berry.
No.
The one thing about the show that is
Oh, that fucking movie
Yeah.
just popped up in my head. We talked about like my fears of movies. We talked about the Brady Bunch last time. We talked about fucking Flintstones movie, which is weird. Oh, I'm sorry.
the one thing about the
Not
show
going
that's a
there.
blessing and a curse is that it there's so much symbolism, so it takes multiple viewings to actually kind of get most of.
It's like a Zack Snyder movie.
Oh, no, not Zack Snyder.
Does
It's just
Hallelujah play during it? Because that's a really a Zack Snyder movie.
So much symbolism in this movie. Everything symbolizes Jesus and God.
there's just a lot of undertones and a lot of themes to the show. So over time, like you go back and rewatch things and you pick up on connections, and especially with the third season, which was on Showtime, is even more mind-blowing because it's David Lynch was like, I want to make a 10-episode movie, and he filmed it as a movie and then cut it as a 10-episode miniseries.
Like the Zack Snyder Justice League cut.
Kind of, actually, yeah. But actually, well, I guess we'll know if it works or not. But for him, it worked, and it just allowed him to kind of continue the story a little bit more.
Is it like X-Files? Is it like an X-Files light almost, where it's not like all aliens, but is it, because that's what kind of draws me.
It's not really aliens. It's
but like ghosts and spirits and stuff. So it's like ghost X-Files.
Yeah, I mean it's.
So when does it get to the ghost? Because I watch a couple episodes of season 1.
Oh,
and
you have to watch it.
Oh, it's a slow burn with the
It
ghost.
was like a murder mystery.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it starts out with a girl in a small town in Washington.
Okay.
She gets murdered, and they bring an FBI agent. Comes in, Kyle MacLachlan.
Okay.
Is
he wearing the Flintstones gear?
No, he's wearing a
Is
black
he
suit.
oiled up like in the
I mean,
Flintstones?
his hair is oiled up.
Ah, okay. All right.
So he gets brought in. The FBI sends him in to investigate, and then he realizes that there's a lot more going on in this town.
Shit happening in this town.
And then it's him going down the rabbit hole of everything that is also going on.
Sounds like a show I would love.
But then, David Lynch made a movie that was a supplement, Fire Walk With Me, that takes place before the show. There's just a lot of...
Holy shit, it's Santa Claus.
Oh!
you
Happy
you
Thanksgiving.
doing it right?
Hey! Happy Thanksgiving.
It's all for Murph.
It's got a lot of things for everyone, and that's one thing that I really enjoy about it. If you like the soap operas and the different characters, that's something that can pull people in.
Yeah.
But then if you like mysteries and drama,
Love mysteries.
that can also pull you in. The best thing about the show is how the characters are written, but that's David Lynch's, every movie that he's done, his characters are amazing. So
This is on what? Is this on Netflix or something? Or Showtime? 'Cause I don't
it's
have
on
Showtime.
no. The first 2 seasons are on Netflix.
Okay.
If you end up liking it, you can borrow my box set because I have the box set of all 3 seasons.
I'm gonna make the wife watch this because I have to watch a lot of things.
The one thing I will say, the middle part of the second season, David Lynch leaves because at the time CBS was like, no, we want you to do this specific thing, and he was like, no, I don't want to do it, so he leaves. So there's a 10-episode gap where it's just nonsense. It's hilarious, but it has nothing to do with the main story, and then he comes back and kills it.
Okay.
So that's all I'm going to say.
That's good to know because I probably would turn it off after that.
Yeah, you
just
have to
tell him
push
the
through.
episodes you should watch and which ones you shouldn't bother.
No, you have to watch the whole thing, but you have to have a primer.
As long as I know it comes back.
And then season 3, the revival,
Is it good?
Amazing.
Because this is like an old show, right?
Yeah, the revival is
early 90s.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
it's
TV
really
critics
really
went,
good.
over the moon for
Yeah,
the revival.
This is like a fucking Arrested Development type thing, like a hidden.
It was one
gem.
of the ones where it actually worked out.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but
originally, yes,
it didn't get the support that.
Well, it was a
should've.
monster hit, season 1.
Okay.
Yeah, in the 90s.
And then
But
they fucked it
then they finished that story, and then they finished the main story that got everyone hooked on it, like who killed Laura Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
It was
the network pushed them to finish it, and
Okay.
he didn't want to.
season 2. The ratings went.
Does season 2 feel forced?
Yes.
Like, would it just worked out as a one season
Oh, totally.
Gambit?
But
Don't they finish the Laura Palmer story in the beginning of season 2,
yes.
or at the end of season 2?
So CBS
Okay.
pushed. David Lynch wanted to make it like a cheese and carrot type of thing, and really never actually show who killed Laura Palmer.
That sounds great.
So, but they ended up doing it because he was forced to, and that's what he got disgruntled and left. So, there's 10 episodes where he's not involved in the writing, and the writers are just trying to emulate David
bunch
Lynch.
of manatees taking balls and throwing
They're
Idea balls.
the episodes are entertaining, but they are filler and they're fucking crazy. And then he comes back and does the season finale, the 2-episode season finale, and just knocks it out of the park.
Okay.
And then the
Then they come back and do
revival,
it.
the revival is continuing the show,
Okay.
and
And it's done now.
no,
No, because they're gonna keep going. So they're just gonna let him
It
do
was a
whatever he
few
wants.
years ago. He seems like he has like a Larry David Curb Your Enthusiasm deal with
Okay.
Showtime, where basically like if you want, whenever you have an idea and want to do more, you can do more.
That's fucking
He-
great.
he collaborates with with another writer, Mark Frost, on all of Twin Peaks.
Okay.
So once the third season ended, which it ended, but like it ended on an open note, and he was like, "Well, if we have more ideas, then we'll continue it." And that's
I
kind
I
of
hear
where it's
that's
at
why
right now.
like the fact that there's the collaboration is why it works so well.
Exactly.
Is because like David Lynch can't go full David Lynch, so like he
Mhm.
has Mark Frost pulling him back
Yeah.
and actually tells the story.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
because Mark Frost is like an actual writer, and like he's got books about politics. He's got books about like all different types of stuff. So they collaborate, and yeah, you're completely right. He kind of brings because the man is nuts.
Okay.
His movies are like out there, but
He
he
was
kind of pulls
funny
him back.
as hell on Louis.
Yeah,
He had like
yeah.
a 3-episode arc where he was like Louis' manager or something
Mhm.
like that. He's just a weird dude.
Yeah.
It's definitely a show that like you'll watch and you'll start to question different things and go back and like you'll just think about it a lot. It's really good. I think you'll like it.
Sounds like a book I want to read.
But yeah, that's Twin Peaks in a nutshell.
Cool.
Yeah, that's another one that I would like to eventually get to.
Yeah.
I feel like I was missing out on conversation in that revival season.
I mean, I'll watch it
Was
with you.
out.
I'm always down to watch it again.
Doug?
Audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it with you. I'm just going to let you go.
Just audibling everything at this
Yes. So as far as movies I'm thankful for, it's a pretty easy choice to pick Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
It's just such a weird one to pick. But, all right.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And he
Um,
hasn't even seen it in 3D.
I haven't seen it.
It's
in 3D.
Wild. That movie's crazy.
Best movie in 3D I've ever seen.
Wow.
Everyone's seen it, right?
Yeah.
I was
Rather
really
than-
Avatar
I mean,
is my
like,
favorite in 3D.
I think everyone knows what Spider-Man's about. I guess things that I
No,
enjoy,
tell me more
Yeah,
about
tell-
this Spider-Man.
things I enjoy about
What
it
is
is
the
like
Spider-Verse?
I think the animation is incredible. They just knock it out of the park with
Do
the
you like
animation.
Miles Morales more than Peter Parker? I guess protagonist.
In that movie, I do, yeah.
And how close do they get to Spider-Pig, which is clearly at the top?
John Mulaney as Spider-Pig.
Yeah, I mean the
Spider-Man.
The introduction of the
Spider-Man.
multiverse is pretty cool. Miles Morales as a character was someone I didn't think I would be crazy about, and I thought he was just like such a good character. I love the dynamic of him and his uncle and his father and
Yeah.
how that all played out. It's a tight script. I feel like just everything that happens in that movie is like serves a purpose to the overall narrative. It's just fun. I don't know. To me, that's like maybe the best superhero movie I've ever seen.
It's definitely a tight script.
Your
I think
adoration for this movie.
I mean,
makes
it
me
shows
watch
it
what
is-
cartoons
get it.
can do with comic books or over live action.
Mhm.
Like, it does have some fucking incredible like
Visuals.
Yeah.
I love the
and
story.
it's just
though.
not humanly possible to do in a live action movie.
Yet.
Yeah, at least, yes, that's true.
I think
Who knows what'll happen in
they
the
do
next
like they do like what Disney does best with their animation. They balance the action, but then also bring in like this great character development, you know, and make you feel for these characters very early on. So like by the end, you're just like,
And there's something like
they did a really good job with that.
crazy about just like, oh, here's Peter Parker. Oh, Peter Parker's dead, and it's just
Yeah.
like deal with
How
how does
you've
the,
known all these movies.
how does the
all
world
these years.
react to like Peter Parker just like he's gone,
Yeah.
he died, and it's just like it creates such a interesting world that you kind of have to live with, and it's one of Stan Lee's last cameos,
Yeah,
and it's a great cameo too.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's one of the good ones.
So you got that, which I always enjoy getting to. Just the themes run throughout the entire movie. Even the villain Kingpin, he has like he's kind of like a Thanos in a way, where you can kind of see like his goal was to just like see his family or get his family back, and so like it's a relatable goal. It's not just like some villain that just wants to like love the
There's
world.
no alternative plan that would actually work other than what he wants to do.
Right, and so it just so happens that he's probably going to tear apart the fabric of like space and time in doing it. But
Wouldn't be a villain if he wasn't going to do that.
yeah, but it's like a relatable goal. You can see why he like feels the need to do what he's doing.
Who was the voice for him again? Was it Luke Schreiber?
Yeah.
Will Shriver.
Yeah.
All the voice acting is great
Sabretooth.
though.
Yeah, no, they nailed everyone. Nick Cage, John Mulaney,
God, the guy from
Mahershala Ali.
Mm-hmm.
the guy from New Girl,
Yep.
Jake Johnson.
Johnson.
So good. As like washed up Peter
The
Parker.
girl from True Grit. She was really good as Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm trying to think of her name.
Yeah, they really got everyone like perfect. Obviously, they're doing a sequel. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's gonna work?
I mean, I'd love to see a sequel.
You are gonna see a sequel.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I
I would
see
love
it.
to sit,
Yeah.
physically sit down.
I mean, I think it was kind of like lightning striking in a bottle type of thing.
That's what I'm worried
That's,
about.
that's what I think, because I don't know how they're going to replicate that.
For how much I love that movie, it's going to be hard for them
Yeah.
to like just hit the same level as that movie, but that same movie hit.
Like a Lego movie almost. It's like Lego movie was lightning in a bottle. Lego movie 2 is why the fuck are we watching this?
Mhm.
Money,
That's
please.
that concerns me a little bit, but
I think the best thing they could do is just continue on with Miles, because he's a great character. He's
Oh, yeah.
a fantastic
If they didn't, I
character.
would be shocked.
And just,
what's crazy is like every little kid that I've interacted with, which is not a ton. But
You don't have any nephews or nieces or anything.
But like you talking about Spider-Man, it's like it's Miles. Like Miles is like
That is pretty
everything.
wild.
that's what my nephews are asking for the video game. The Miles Morales PS4 game. That's what they want.
Yeah, because it's a Spider-Verse
It's
was such a
PS5
big movie.
We only talk about Batman in my family. No more
Marvel doesn't exist.
Only Batman.
And it was cool watching that movie be like word of mouth hit too. Like it didn't open a ton of money. I think it was like a $20 million return.
Yeah.
And it ended up making like 170 something in America and winning Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. And anytime Pixar loses, especially when it's for a good movie, that's pretty wild. So that kind of shows how much people dug this film,
Mhm.
how well received it was.
It was good. It's just your adoration for this movie makes me want to go back and watch it because I feel like I'm missing something.
You must be missing something.
I must be.
Doug loves this
And you
movie.
didn't even see it in 3D.
Yeah, come on.
Oh
You're
my god,
TV
if you
set.
saw it in 3D, you'd like it so much more.
Did you, when I saw it in 3D, was that the first time you saw it in 3D?
Yeah, so like the...
I didn't know if you saw it in
Okay.
3D. Okay, because I remember like we were like, holy shit, that was wild.
It's one of those
I was
movies.
like-
I was sober.
It's definitely one of those movies where like, and I love that feeling where I just like walk out of the movie theater with like a grin on my face.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that is a great feeling.
yeah.
Where, you know, you like it.
It's such a rare one too, because like there's a lot of movies you expect to go awesome. Like you know, like we knew we were gonna walk out of Endgame fucking jacked up. We didn't like something like Spider-Verse. You don't know it's gonna be that way. It's
But
like
we were questioning.
Sony's making a movie,
Yeah.
like Feige's not involved. This could be a cash grab, like,
Mm-hmm.
but it actually worked out. So that's a fun experience for sure.
Yeah.
I watched that movie quite a few times afterwards, and I'll probably watch it much more.
So, dude, you're gonna watch on 4K like the moment you
Get home.
New
Throw it into the
TV.
Oh,
PS5.
nice. That's awesome.
That's the movie to watch.
Yeah.
Good for
All
you.
right, JP,
Yeah.
let's hear it.
My comfort food. I'm eating it a lot. So the turkey and the stuffing I'm gonna eat tomorrow. Friday Night Lights, the TV show, not the movie.
Very important. You know, it's not
very, very important. The movie's good, but
not comfortable.
Not the comfort food.
neither is Friday Night Lights really the TV show is a comfort, but it comforts me. I've watched this TV show in its entirety probably 7 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many seasons is that?
5. Yeah.
And how
It's
many
got
episodes? Is it like
A lot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like 20 something a season, I'm pretty
The
sure.
first 2 episodes
Yeah.
are 20 something.
Yeah.
First 2 seasons, and then it goes into 13 episodes.
Yeah.
Or maybe 4 and 5 or 13 episodes.
So that's a lot
No,
of
for the
time.
end ones, the end ones go down because the 5th season was
Because it left NBC.
Attack.
I believe after season 2 or 3, it went to DirecTV, and then it would air on like NBC after.
Yeah.
It aired on DirecTV.
This is weird because I remember ordering. I got the DVDs, the first time I watched this thing in its entirety, the DVDs from Netflix. So I would order a DVD at a time and watch this, and that took forever. But I go back and I watch it once every 2 years or so, and sometimes if I'm really fucking bored. I watched at the beginning of this quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not going to watch it before December, but January? Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I have to watch that show.
Yeah, it was really between, if we're talking TV shows, it's between this or King of the Hill, which I watched both of them in completion during the quarantine. But Friday Night Lights has a little bit of everything. It's got a good amount of winning. It's got losing. It's got adversity. It's got heart. It's got clear eyes. It's got full hearts.
Can't lose.
You can't lose. And it's
And it's got some amazing talent in it.
It does.
And ended up being superstars. Fucking Michael B. Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan is the first
As
thing I saw.
a late edition guy. Doesn't show up till season 4.
Yeah. And apparently has half the cast of Heart of Dixie in it, as I've been told every time I watch this. Because
Is that the one with Mrs. Coach? Or
no, it's got the...
No, that was Nashville.
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan's dad, and then Street is a character in it, because my wife watches that show.
And Journey Smollett from
Yep.
Lovecraft Country was in it as well.
Yep.
I feel like, the actors that came in the later seasons ended up having bigger careers.
They did, yeah.
And
Because Saracen only gets murdered in The Purge. That's the only thing I've seen him in otherwise.
Purge Anarchy.
Yeah. And then...
Amy Teagarden gets murdered in Scream 4.
She does. So there's a lot of actors from the early seasons that get murdered. I'm thankful for that.
Then Kyle Chandler.
Kyle Chandler's coach, he gets murdered in Grey's Anatomy, which is really upsetting because I watched that episode because my wife also likes that show. Watched it. And he's like a SWAT team member, and some guys get a bomb in him in the hospital because...
That was the Super Bowl episode.
Yeah, it's a real show. It's real things.
Oh, yeah.
And when he died, I screamed "Coach" at the top of my lungs because I'd been drinking and I don't like watching Coach die. So, yeah, I bring this movie with me everywhere during the year, or this TV show with me everywhere during the year. I fucking love it.
There you go.
And it's embarrassing that I love it so much.
Dude, it's a great show.
It's a fucking great
watch
show.
it.
You're the one who got me to watch it.
That's a fantastic
10 years
show.
ago, probably, at this point.
I was going to say, you'll watch Into the Spider-Verse, I'll watch...
I've watched Into the Spider-Verse.
That's a
Right,
much,
you gotta watch it again.
that's a much bigger commitment.
I
I know, and I was like...
I don't think I could ever
kinda
get to
But
your
you'll
level of
like it.
Spider-Verse
You'll
love.
like it.
But yeah, it's a great TV show. I mean, especially because...
Texas Forever.
Texas Forever and just a whole bunch of stupid teenagers doing dumb fucking shit.
Taylor Kitsch.
Taylor Kitsch, hate him. I hate Riggins
Tim
so
Riggins-
much.
Tim Riggins is
Gambit?
great.
Yeah, I prefer not to.
But,
Not my Gambit.
yeah, I think I watched it on Netflix streaming, probably right when it started as streaming.
Yeah.
And then bought the DVDs, right after.
Yeah, I had the complete set, and then it came on Netflix shortly after for
And then
streaming.
you just watch it on that.
Yeah, I don't think I have a DVD player,
Hey,
so
it's good to have it in case streaming platforms just suddenly poof.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to go out and
Amazon.
pilfer a DVD player.
True.
Because I don't have one.
Good point.
You got a
I guess-
PS4.
I do have a PS4. I guess I would have to
DVD
blow all
player.
the
There
dust
you go.
off of that, and I could use that to play DVDs.
Here you go.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm all set. Yeah, I'm thankful for that. It's my comfort food. It's my stuffing.
I think they have Thanksgiving episodes too, because it takes place during football season.
Oh, for sure.
They have food drives or something.
yeah,
Like season 4.
barbecues. It's Texas, so you can cook outside during Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
Done that. It's good times. Yeah, Friday nights. Go watch it.
All right.
Go order the DVDs from Netflix. When they're tired.
They still
Just
do that,
call
right?
Netflix, be like, I'd like your DVD.
They're like, first of all, I don't know why I picked up the phone.
Do they even still do that? Like, can
I
you?
don't know, I think they do. But I'm
I
not
feel like you
100%
have to be
certain.
like some
They might have
third world
stopped this
country.
It might have stopped this year.
I can't see how that's profitable, but
You get them in like that fucking shoddy.
For, like,
It was so
the three
good,
people
though,
that
man.
want the DVDs.
I mean, you're getting people to watch less content for the same amount of money,
Yeah.
probably.
You would get
Probably.
one disc at a
Dude,
time.
remember what Netflix started
a
out
season would,
as?
a season would
That's how I
have like
started
8
shows
discs.
back in the day. Like I watched Mad Men, Breaking Bad, like
One
through
disc at a
Netflix
time.
discs.
I watched so many shows like that, and it just seems so. It was
Ahead of its time.
so quick, and you're like, "Wow, this is great." I don't have to buy. Oh my!
But I think
remember I
I
rented
could only
video
do like
games
3
that way.
discs at a time.
Yeah.
So like
Gamefly,
Breaking Bad
yeah.
is like 4 discs.
So
So
good.
I'd like get the 3, and then like I'd have to buy episode 13 because it was like 3 episodes per disc, and it's a 13 episode season. So I was like, God damn it! Now I have to buy the last episode on Amazon. Every time I go on Amazon, I'm like, oh, I have 2 random Breaking Bad episodes on there.
I had a whole season of Breaking Bad on Amazon, and it's still sitting in there. I don't know why, but it's there.
The old days.
Yeah.
All right.
So what are you thankful for?
What are you thankful for, Murph?
So I was going to go with...
Are you audibling?
I'm audibling.
Uh-oh.
I like the idea of 2 movies, 2 television shows.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I was going to go with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Good show.
But I realized I wouldn't necessarily say it's a comfort show. It's just like a show I deeply love, and I'm excited every time they drop a new season. And anytime I watch it, I'm very happy. But it's not something that like I'll randomly pick up a DVD of and like throw it in just to like laugh for a couple hours.
Really? Because I watch Charlie McDennis more than any other episode.
I don't really go back to TV shows like I used to. Like
God, I love it.
I'm on like a.
Yeah,
there's still so many shows you have to watch that you get to watch. Eventually, maybe I'll watch shows again. But regardless, the one I'm going with is super random. It's Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I
I can see that.
Yeah. So, saw it back in theaters in 2004. This movie was not supposed to be anything special.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just a dumb movie from the director of Dude, Where's My Car, starring the MILF guy from American Pie, and the Indian dude from Van Wilder, the Indian nerd.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's literally how the movie was advertised. And I was so excited for it, just because I loved all 3 of those movies. Which says a lot about my taste in high school. So, I remember the first time seeing it in theaters, like opening weekend.
Yeah.
Asner fucking, kid we went to high school with, a friend who just dying laughing during the cheetah scene where they're riding. Like, the loudest laughing in a movie theater ever for an extended amount of time.
Sounds like a
It's not even close to the funniest scene in the movie.
It's not.
Sounds like someone who smoked for like 30 years.
It's just a great movie theater memory.
Yeah.
Got it on DVD immediately, and it's one of those movies that were like, I don't rarely pick up a Blu-ray to like throw it back in or anything, or a DVD to watch it, and this is one where I will. And I'm like, for 2 hours or for the hour and 40 minutes that it is,
It's not long.
I'm fucking happy as hell. I mean, it's just funny and has so many like hilarious parts throughout it.
NPH.
The fact that it's in New Jersey also always meant something.
And the fact that they would drive from fucking Hoboken to
All the way to
Cherry
Cherry
Hill
Yeah.
for a White
For White
Castle is
Castle.
insane. When you could just go to like Hasbro
They could've went
Heights.
to
Clifton?
Literally anywhere in Central Jersey too, there is a White Castle. I think every 4 miles. I think it's mandated by law that if you are driving on a fucking highway in like Monmouth, that there is a White Castle every 4 miles.
Yeah.
Even the sequels are great. And
They
they're all
are.
right.
Yeah. The sequels, well, they're not great.
I think they're great. The
The
second one
third
is
one is better than the
third
second
one is better
one.
than the second one. The third one actually did 3D well.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was, I think, one of 3 or 4 movies that I enjoyed in 3D. Comedies do it well.
2 of them we've talked, or one. The other one we talked about.
Yeah, the other
There
one,
you go.
Spider-Verse was my number 1, and then I'd say number 2 was probably Jackass 3D,
Yeah.
and 3 would be Harold and Kumar 3. Because it just does 3D in a cheesy way.
Yeah.
It calls it out to you, like, you're supposed to, like, know it's ridiculous.
Fucking Wafflebot, dude.
And the movies were always they were, like, not necessarily meta, but, like, they pulled the audience, like, in on the joke. Like, they knew it was a movie.
It's like a stupid kid's book.
Yeah.
It's like Harold and Kumar do blank. And It's
Yeah.
like
Harold and Kumar 3, fucking Neil Patrick Harris. It's like, well, see you guys in the 4th one.
Yeah.
Like, that's just funny to me. And just NPH and all of them is
So
hysterical. But, yeah, Harold and Kumar, I would have to say, is my movie. I remember when we saw the second one, this was our, I guess, around junior year of college, and we were writing our screenplay, which we'll eventually do a live reading of
Yeah.
somewhere down the
Worried.
line. But we saw,
send help.
we spent an entire
Bring it out of the vault.
an entire semester of college working on this thing, and we're like, it's great. So then
Zippy's like, no, it's not.
the semester's almost over, and we go see
my
Harold
time
and
vacation.
Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay at midnight. And after the movie ends, we're like, they have so many jokes that are like basically the exact same jokes that we have in our movie. How did they know? We had a gold mine. I mean, the movie didn't do that great, but and it's the worst one of the trilogy. So that should give you an idea of how great the movie is that we wrote. But again, you'll hear it down the line. Yeah. But yeah, man, those 3 movies. I'm just waiting for a 4th one. I feel like it's only a matter of time.
It's gonna happen.
I mean, I know Cal Penn fucking was working with in the Obama administration.
Yeah.
For crying out loud. Like,
Yeah.
Fucking John Cho has done Star Trek movies and all these other things.
Yeah.
But I don't see why there's any reason. The Cobra Kai writers now, they can use their clout and they can do Harold Kumar.
I hope so. It'd be great to have another Harold Kumar.
They're just fun.
And they're great characters.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I got. Harold Kumar.
And he's gonna have kids now. They're both gonna have kids.
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
Ew, no, don't do another one because it's going to be like Bill and Ted. It's going to be like, these are our daughters,
These are
Harold and Kumara.
Yeah, that'll definitely.
And I'm going to be like, no, please no.
Harold and
Please
Kumara.
no kid movies. I don't need a Carrying the Torch movie.
Yeah, Hoda and Kumara.
Please, for the love of God,
Oh,
don't do that.
because that is how comedy works. It will eventually happen.
Yeah, great movies though. I fucking love those movies.
Yeah, I think we've all just enjoyed them because of the New Jersey thing. Like, that definitely has.
I think that was just a
Part of it.
feather in the cap. I think they're just fun movies because it's exactly what.
Christopher Maloney and fucking.
Oh, dude, the best part of those movies.
Different
is-
character every time.
Show?
And, he wasn't in the third one, was he? It was a fucking shame. These are the movies that like Seth Rogen and what's his face?
I don't know. Oh, Evan Goldberg.
No, the fucking
Judd Apatow?
no, the date fucking
We're just gonna name people.
Franco. This is what
James Franco.
Seth Rogen and James Franco should have just done. Seth Rogen and James Franco meet something like a fucking
Meet Harold and Kumar.
yeah, like Abbott and Costello meet Wolfman.
Yeah.
But it's just Seth Rogen and it's just James Franco as themselves
Just
doing stupid
So
shit.
simple. Like,
It's such
it
a
just writes itself.
I would throw money at a screen to watch that. Like I would have, I guess not anymore because I fucking sick of Seth Rogen, but yeah, just like serialized movies that just like don't really have to have a point. It's just like we're gonna go do something really stupid.
Yeah.
And then it's like a Keenan and Kel.
And I'm still waiting for Dude, Where's My Car 2 also.
I banish you to
Even though it would
Hoboken,
be
New
terrible.
Jersey.
I know it would be terrible.
Yeah, it would be really
Yeah,
bad.
I'm
I would
not
actually
sure
rather
about
watch the two gay Nordic dudes in Hoboken, New Jersey. Oh man.
Those writers must be from Hoboken.
You
Well,
would have-
actually, no, it's different writer. It's not the same
Is
writer.
it?
It's Dude, Where's My Car.
Oh, okay.
Same director, not the same writer.
They both have everything. to
Yeah,
do
they
with
both have Hoboken, New Jersey.
They drive so fucking far in Harold and Kumar. They go from Hoboken
I don't think people
to
understand
Rutgers.
why they go that far.
Yeah, it's like
That's
2
a
hours.
2-hour
It's-
drive to get
yeah,
there.
it's-
Hill.
It's easily
Like, at least 2 hours.
7 hours the way
And the way they go, yeah.
Yeah.
God damn. Alright. Well, we're from New Jersey if you have not figured that out yet.
Hey, don't find us.
But let's move on to, unless anyone else has any final closing words about what they're thankful for in pop culture or anything.
Audible. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Nope. Gobble gobble. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
turkey.
thanks.
Woo!
Well, let's move on to our yearly film series. We're up to 96 now.
Good you.
So let's just get right into things. What do you got, Corey?
So the movie that I chose was The Crucible.
You watched this in school, didn't you?
Exactly.
No.
So the first time I saw
Nobody
it,
who watched
only-
it wasn't from
So the first-
watching it in school.
Yeah,
the
the
first
only
time I
reason you watched this movie.
saw it was in 9th grade, I want to say. 9th or 10th grade.
Yeah, probably middle school.
So
That's
Crucible,
easily watching
Maybe
middle
it
school.
was 9th grade. Who was the teacher?
I feel like it was Mr. Rada, history teacher.
No, it's 10th grade.
So 10th grade.
Now they're gonna find us.
Yeah.
Hey, my teachers are
Yeah.
home. That's
Um,
a thing still.
Oh,
Yeah, that movie I really enjoyed because it was, it was my first movie that I saw with Daniel Day-Lewis.
You didn't see Days of New York in that? Yet?
I don't think so. I don't
In
think
You
ninth
so.
saw that in
grade?
freshman year.
I guess it'd be right around the same time.
Yeah, I feel like, around the same
Didn't
time.
she show you last movie? No.
No, we
Last
didn't.
movie.
Well, she loved
She was a big
Daniel
Daniel
Day-Lewis and Woody.
DDL.
I mean, he's amazing. So I think we watched both those movies. But Crucible was it was just super interesting because it's about the Salem witch trials, and Winona Ryder's in
I
it.
was gonna say,
Yeah.
Winona Ryder was in it.
It's not It's not an unbelievably great movie.
No.
It's not necessarily something I would say is good.
But the acting is amazing, and Daniel Day-Lewis knocks out of the park, especially the.
Of course.
It's because he lived in a fucking cabin for like 90 years and he probably killed a bunch of people.
Probably.
They were witches.
Probably, but the end.
Called method acting.
Yeah, it's called murder, but in his eye, it's method acting.
But yeah, like I just always will remember, and you can YouTube it. If you just YouTube Daniel Day-Lewis The Crucible, you will see the scene. And
Just
it's at
screaming.
the end of the movie. It's at the end of the
This
movie.
brings up other movies.
End of the movie, and it's a monologue with
There
him.
was
blood, yeah.
It's a monologue with him, and it's
I ran on my boy.
it's just it's great. But yeah, so that's the movie that I chose because I really enjoyed that movie. I still do, but it's not.
I think I saw that in school.
Yeah,
I definitely watched that in school.
I don't know if it's.
Watched it, like, the
Fuck, are we watching? Oh,
Yeah.
she was. Well, your teacher didn't tell us why she's not here, but she called in and left a message at 4 a.m. on Sunday. So here's a movie. Fucking still one of my favorite.
I feel like
English
every-
classes ever. I had the best English teachers throughout high school. I checked every fucking box. I won every English.
You got Connect 4.
I fucking killed
I
it,
used
dude.
to get so angry at you because of that. 'cause
I
you
played
you had,
so
like, the
much
best-
video games and shit.
I remember.
And then freshman year, I expanded my vocabulary by like fucking 8 times, and then didn't have to work for the rest of high school. That was fantastic.
Cheers to high school.
yeah,
I read really well now and good, so it's
I
fantastic.
read good.
I read good now.
but yeah, I mean that high school is definitely like my memories of the Crucible. So.
If you went to high school in America, you probably watched
Yeah.
The Crucible at some point,
Yeah.
like when you were 6 or something like
So that's my movie for '96.
It's
that.
alright.
Good movie to pick, but
Doug.
is this a video game?
You don't know what this movie is?
I have no idea
you're
what this
thinking.
movie is.
What do you think about Killer Instinct?
Primal Fury, I think.
Primal.
That makes more sense.
Primal was a video game.
Primal. Yeah, that was the one when you fought with dinosaurs.
No.
The one I'm thinking of is like a fighting game, but you were dinosaurs.
Oh, you're thinking of a Resident Evil type game, right? That
No, I'm
was-
thinking of a side-scrolling fighting game where you were dinosaurs. I played it at
What
arcade.
am I
games.
thinking of?
I have no idea.
It was like Resident Evil, but there was like a dinosaur. Dino Hunter?
Turok.
No.
Ooh, Turok was
I think it was
good.
Dino Hunter.
Maybe. I don't know. This has got like one of my favorite lines in the movie. It's like we were dancing, Marty. Edward Norton.
I've never seen this movie.
You've never seen this movie? Richard.
I saw the ending. I got spoiled.
Yeah, so you like know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
it's like a movie that's all based on the twist, and I know the twist.
Oh no.
I know. I'm trying to like wait 20 years, and hopefully I'll forget it.
No, me.
I've already been waiting 20 years, so maybe another 20.
Yeah, so Richard Gere like is in this movie, plays like a hotshot attorney, takes a case to represent this person who's in jail for murder, who's Edward Norton,
Okay.
and Edward Norton has like a split personality disorder.
Is that the twist?
Oh man, I wish I forgot that. I did forget that. Now I remember.
Oh no, is that the twist?
No,
No, that's not the twist.
No, but like that's cool twist that I wish I didn't remember.
remember.
This is a 1996 movie for anyone that's watching this and you don't want it to get spoiled.
And so like things go from there, but Edward Norton just like kills it. It's a very, very young Edward Norton. I think that's like one of his
That was a
first.
breakdown movie.
Yeah. It's so good. Richard Gere's good in the movie. Edward Norton's like.
Did this inspire you to become a lawyer?
No, actually, I saw this after. I think I
Oh,
saw this
Resident
in law
Lawyer.
school. Yeah. Thank you.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I think I saw this while I was
Did
in
you watch this in law school where they're like, well, your professor called out.
Yeah.
4 a.m. on a Sunday, here's Primal Fear.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought this was a video game. Goodbye, guys.
Yeah, that's just what happened. My professor was hungover in law school, and they threw Primal Fear up on the projector.
We were going to play Crucible, but we couldn't find it.
And so we saw Primal Fear. Corey, have you
We were going to show you the original trial
Giving
in
thanks
America, but now we're going to show you Primal Fear.
Primal Fear.
Yeah.
I've seen it, but I haven't seen it in a really long time.
What's the video game that's the side-scrolling fighter that's dinosaurs fighting each other?
Primal Fear. Or no.
There you go. I was right.
what's
This whole
the
time.
video
Primal Rage. No. Primal Rage.
Okay.
Probably
Wait,
Primal
and
Rage.
No, it's Primal Rage.
And what's the video game series that was like Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs?
Dino Crisis.
Okay.
Dino Crisis.
Yeah, Dino Crisis.
I was kind of hoping that you dreamed that.
Dino Crisis is an amazing game.
Disney, if you'd like to adapt Dino Crisis, got your writers.
Capcom
Paul
will let you
W.S.
know.
Anderson will probably do it, or Paul Anderson, or
We could
whichever
beat him to
the...
it.
Paul W.S.
We
Paul
can
W.
make
Sanderson.
a nice niche making stupid fucking video game movies.
There we go.
You guys, I mean, I think I've said what I want to say about Primal Fear. Other than, like, you all need to watch this movie. It's
Apparently
fucking
I do.
awesome. It's, like, I know all of you guys love Edward Norton, and, like, this is probably one of his best performances.
It also came out the same year as Fear.
Oh, did it really?
Not to be mistaken with Primal Fear.
With Mark Wahlberg
And
and
Reese
Alicia...
Witherspoon.
I thought it was Alicia Silverstone.
No.
Reese Witherspoon?
Alyssa Milano, and the guy from CSI.
Interesting.
Gary Sinise?
Yeah, the main CSI. The original CSI.
CSI New Orleans?
I don't know where it takes place. No,
CSI Baton Rouge?
the other one,
CSI Kalamazoo?
probably. All right, that's it for Primal Fear. Jimmy, what do you got?
I updated mine, but it's blank again. I
Audible.
will start off by saying, hi, I'm award-winning actor Bill Paxton, and this is the Twister.
You're right. I literally was going to say Twister.
Yeah, Twister. Fucking great movie. This movie scarred me because I moved to Texas shortly after seeing it, and there were tornadoes. And living in New Jersey, there weren't tornadoes.
Now there are global warming, climate change.
Yeah, but the tornadoes in New Jersey, they like
Yeah,
pick
they're
like a
not
chicken up off the ground and
Not
sit
a
it
cow.
down.
They're not
later.
going to hurt you.
They're not gonna hurt you. But I always assumed that after watching this movie that tornadoes were thinking evil beings because that's how they portray them in this movie. Is that tornadoes move to kill Bill Paxton?
If you chase them, they will chase you
They will
back.
chase you back. So I always thought they were like they knew. And fucking the first time we got a tornado warning and I was in a Chili's, it was fucking horrifying. It made my dad get in the car and drive away.
Scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't have a
Helen Hunt's
basement.
like, oh, my family.
I was afraid that my dad was going to fly out the window anytime there was a
Wasn't
tornado
Philip
warning.
Seymour Hoffman in that movie?
He was.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
cow
That was
is
before
like,
he was really Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
He was
cow
just a
is
straight up character
like
actor.
just like super chill as he like
Just hanging out.
It's just
hangs
moving.
out in the hurricane or
I'll
the
ne-
tornado that he's just like.
Yeah.
I'll never
Pulled
forget
it
when
too.
you guys made me go on the Twister ride.
I
it's
love that
fantastic.
ride.
And it just starts out with, hi, I'm award-winning actor Bill Paxton.
Rest in peace.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please.
rest in
yeah,
peace.
Rest in peace. Bill Paxton. Fucking great part of that movie.
And I went on this within the past, 10 years, I guess, for the first time.
Yeah.
And I was
We're
like,
probably pushing 10 years. I think it was actually
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Now it's, I think, Transformers.
Yeah, it's gone now.
No, that's a shame because that was really fun to watch. But this movie is fantastic for such a loose fucking premise where Bill Paxton's just trying to get a divorce and then gets swept back into the world of chasing tornadoes and throwing little Coke can fucking floaty majiggers into them. And then
it's like
suddenly
a-
it's like
it's like a sphere, isn't it? That
well,
they
they're like
throw-
little
Dorothy-
spheres.
Dorothy or
Dorothy, yeah.
And then they had a second Dorothy.
Because there are tornadoes in Wizard of Oz. Clever.
The whole time.
You're just like, oh my god.
You just broke me.
And the whole thing, they're these crazy brilliant scientists, and the whole thing they were missing is that we got to put a little fucking propeller on top of every single one of these very heavy balls, and then it works, and they get all the thing, and Bill Paxton is tied to a fucking bar with a belt, and he survives going through a tornado, which is really dumb, but
Yeah.
awesome.
And they see the center of the tornado.
Yeah, and he is never the same again. It's like a what's that movie where John Travolta gets magical powers?
Face Off?
Phenomenon.
No, I'm kidding.
Phenomenon. It turns out he just has brain
Also,
cancer.
also 1996.
Also 1996. So there you go. I didn't even know that. It turns out he just has brain cancer the whole time. He
Yeah.
dies. It's kind of like that. Bill Paxton probably had superpowers after being in the eye of the tornado.
Although, yeah, brain cancer gives you superpowers.
Apparently, you just get to burn out real fast and like move shit with your mind, become really smart. But then, sorry, John Travolta. Yeah, that's me for 1996. This was tough. There was a lot of good movies
There are,
in 1996.
yeah.
there were a lot I didn't.
97 is even better.
Like,
I
there were a
was-
bunch I didn't mention because I feel like I just talked about The Rock a bunch recently. So I didn't include that.
We glossed
Just
over
talked
it.
about Scream, so didn't include that.
Yep.
We're going to have a holiday episode soon, so if there's a holiday movie that you are aware of from 1996, we will talk about that soon.
Which we are.
And
Mars Attacks was the one that I was really gonna pick. Mars Attacks is a fucking great movie.
it's a good one. But yeah, I'll go. You just said the number 2 movie in America that year. I'll go with the number 3 movie in America that year.
Whoa!
Twister was the number
Twister
2
made-
movie.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
Yeah.
that movie killed. That
What was
year.
number 1? Do we know?
Independence Day.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
hell
makes sense.
yeah. Of
course.
I
It was a
remember
big
seeing
summer.
that movie
It
theater.
was the first like summer.
I think I saw that movie
box
4
office.
times in theaters.
I had to sit with my dad, and then my sister and my mom had to sit somewhere else. That was wild.
You know, in that movie when Dr. Oaken gets thrown onto the window, that used to scare the
Did
shit
you
out of
pee
me.
your
No,
pants?
I'd close my eyes. I would. We were like what, like 9,
9.
8?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now they know how old
it
we
scared
are.
the shit out of me.
All right.
JP's like, they know everything about us.
Blur my face.
They're figuring out more and more information.
JP's voice is like distorted on this episode.
From now on, my square is just gonna be like a silhouette of someone.
Yeah, is there any just like information in the
Oh, we're
background?
Probably.
We're already dead, man.
What else? All right. What I got is Mission Impossible.
Ooh,
So, the original Tom
confusing
Cruise
movie
film.
as a kid.
Yeah. Like, for a 9-year-old, this movie got me hooked, despite the fact there's really only like 3 action scenes in the entire movie.
Yeah.
It's like a very convoluted plot,
It's a
which
head scratcher.
makes a lot more sense the older you get when you watch it. But I mean, it's a Brian De Palma thriller. And I love the fact 2 weeks in a row I had a TV show that becomes a movie.
Look at that.
But this one, like, had the balls to make the hero of the TV show the villain of the movie, which I just find, like, really fascinating. John Voight was... and Jim Phelps was the protagonist of the Mission Impossible TV show, and now he's the villain in the movie.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I never watched the TV show.
It's a pretty neat thing. But the fact of the matter is, I saw this movie when I was 9 years old. I'm now 34 years old, and they're still making fucking Mission Impossible movies with Tom Cruise, and that just makes me so happy because they're still so fucking good. And like,
Except the last one.
oh no, Fallout
That
was
stuff was great.
Very bad.
I don't like Fallout either.
Very bad.
awesome.
This little kid.
Right now,
I don't know.
Corey and I agree.
Yeah.
How about you two start a
We
podcast?
formed the
with
perfect
us?
X across this
Yeah, no,
goddamn.
it works. It works.
thing, yeah.
You want to have the banter and the arguments.
I was just like, we both have red, and I was like, don't tell me they both have blue. They don't.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a red thing going on tonight.
I mean, symbolizes hate for the movies that you guys like.
Whatever. But yeah, the first Mission Impossible, so much different than the ones now. They're
Yes.
not like the crazy Fast and Furious James Bond action type movies
Tom Cruise
that they
running
are.
away from fucking
It is
everything.
like more cerebral.
Yeah.
I mean, the second big set piece of the movie is just him trying not to make a noise while going like down.
It becomes like one of the most iconic scenes of like all time. Is him just like on
yeah,
that
him
fucking
going
wire.
down the wire, going breaking into the building with the computer
Mhm.
stuff. Even in the first scene of the movie, where
Oh
they're basically
my Lord.
killing every character because they're setting up Tom Cruise.
Emilio.
Amelia.
That fucking killed me as a child. Because I was
Yeah.
like, Mighty Ducks is getting
Coach
murdered
Bombay.
in a fucking elevator shaft.
Yeah, exactly. Like brutally. Like, really
Yeah.
bad. You get like a fucking spike thing right through
I
his
know.
head.
I was like, I can't wait to watch Emilio throughout this whole. No.
The last set piece doesn't really look as great
Is it the
now
helicopter
as
one?
as it did back in the day. It kind of has a Jumanji type effect where while the movie's good, the effects don't hold up necessarily. But it was still an awesome scene. Yeah, it started the whole thing with Ving Rhames being in all of them.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I think really every other character dies for the most
Jean
part.
Renault was in that too.
Mhm.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
fucking great.
The one of the other guys played by the dad in Ready or Not. He's kind of like the Tom Cruise's antagonist. He's like trying to arrest him throughout the movie. He's the one who Tom Cruise throws the gum at the aquarium in the beginning, so like he can get away from him. He's actually returning for the next Mission Impossible. So it's kind of, I love how they're just like bringing everything back into it. Like it used to be a series where each movie be a completely different director.
Fucking John Woo.
They would just do their own shit. And now it's starting to like become like this whole mythology, and like everyone is getting back involved in it. And we're at least getting 2 more of them.
Yeah.
So
It's
it
super
makes me
cool.
super
Yeah.
happy.
To have like a franchise that had almost like a serialized thing, and then they go and do that was after Philip Seymour Hoffman one, right? Was when they started to. Yeah.
That
Because
was
J.J.
great.
Abrams got involved in 3,
I hated
and
him
he's been
so
producing
much.
them
He
ever
was such a
since.
good villain.
Such a good villain.
But yeah, I mean the fact that we were 9 when it came out, we're
Yeah.
30
Yeah, that's
now.
insane.
It's gonna go till we're almost 40.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is gonna live forever, so it doesn't even
Yeah,
matter.
and it's the same dude in every one of them.
Yeah.
Like they were setting up him to be replaced in Ghost Protocol by Jeremy Renner. Like,
Yeah.
And now Jeremy Renner's not in the series anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause Jeremy Renner's not in like anything anymore.
Yeah. It was kind of like how they set him up to be the Bourne replacement, and then that didn't even came back the next one. So
Poor Jeremy. No,
I would say no, he's
Or
doing
he's
pretty well for
Hawkeye.
himself.
Yeah.
He's
he's
still
the
Hawkeye.
worst. He's the worst Marvel character.
No, I love Hawkeye.
Hawkeye's the
I
worst.
don't really care for Hawkeye.
Hawkeye
I
only
like
works
Hawkeye
when he has
a
an
lot.
unlimited amount of arrows in the back of his thing, and he
I-
doesn't.
I mean, he's also like a murderer at this point.
Yeah.
The boys made fun of that with the arrows, right?
Yeah, he ran out of arrows.
Everyone
tried it. Eagle, whatever.
Fantastic.
Eagle Archer or something like that.
Yeah, something
it
like
was
that.
Eagle the
Eagle the
Archer.
Archer.
Eagle the Archer.
Yeah.
Oh, the boys. I'm glad it found a way to sneak its way back into the podcast.
Oh, well, we got to talk about it a little bit at least each episode, or every few episodes before season 3 eventually starts.
They filmed that already, right?
I think they're working on it.
Working on it. Work
I
harder.
don't think they filmed it.
Work harder. We're bored.
Alright. But, hey, that's all we have for a very special
Yeah.
episode. Hope you enjoyed watching us bicker and banter all together in person. Hopefully we'll be able to do this more over the next year, pending Florida Man's journeys back to New Jersey and our visits down to him.
Next time we'll make a ring. Start fighting each other over movies.
Exactly.
Next time we'll do one in Florida.
We have tag team partners apparently
Yeah,
on movies, I guess.
Who
We'll
knew?
see.
Yeah.
But thanks as always for listening. Seriously, with Thanksgiving, we want to thank everyone that actually gives a shit and gives this shit a shot, because we know it's absolutely ridiculous. So if you enjoy it, awesome. If you don't, thanks for at least not downvoting.
Yeah.
But please like, follow, subscribe to all our various pages and everything like that. But as always, this has been Corey, Doug, JP, and Murph here at Live Breathe Film. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, thanks,